Okay, all right. Hey guys, uh, back again for another iZombie overview. Season
Yep.
2 was wrapped up this week. Actually, we got a double dose of iZombie because of Flash. No
But
Flash.
yeah, it went on hiatus.
Yeah, again.
I don't understand that, man. They literally just came back only to go on hiatus the following week. That was kind of dumb.
But back again for iZombie, and I had to watch 4 episodes last night. I binge watched 4 episodes last night. Uh, a couple episodes before when I left off when Liv had the brain of a stripper, and then from
Um,
there,
that
so,
was hilarious. I
so I
loved that
was
one.
I was pretty much caught up on after that. And I gotta say once again, guys, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, we didn't introduce ourselves. We're the core, 2 members of the core. TheMtVernonkid, Mr.J. How's
What's up,
everybody doing?
guys?
Sorry about that. But yeah, we're here, guys, and to talk about this season of iZombie. We did it before, and we said we was going to do it again. So here we are to do it again. If you have questions about, or you want to ask us questions about season 2, leave your questions in the comment. Jay will be monitoring the comments. And but I would have to say overall, I enjoyed this season very much.
I honestly think it was better than season one. It honestly really upped its game here, especially that ending.
Yeah, it did. I thought I really did think this season was very much season 2. Season 1 was more of a Kickstarter in a sense for to see if it could get over. And I
Yeah.
think definitely it got over with this season.
I feel kind of the same way about iZombie as I do with Lucifer. Even though it's nothing at all like the comic, it's so much fun that I'll kind of accept it.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. That's another and congratulations to Lucifer getting a second season.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
So, but with iZombie, we were dealing with the ramifications of what happened with Liv at the end of that first season. She scratches Major, and but she gives him the cure, and we find out what happens to the cure, Jay.
It's not permanent, guys. It you end up reverting after a certain amount of time. And yeah, so of course you have to deal with that. There's also the family plot line that was kind of just dropped in the middle of the season. They just didn't go back to it.
I was going to mention that too. I was definitely going to talk about that. That's probably one thing I did not like about this season. Like the family thing was just dropped. Like we jumped from that ending where Liv's brother is in serious peril and he needs a blood transfusion. And Liv says no, and then it's brought up maybe one time in an episode, and her brother just says, "I don't want to see you."
Yeah,
Never
and then he just never shows that. Like the family just never shows up. I mean, I understand they're probably not talking to her anymore, but like they literally don't show up at all.
and a lot of things in the season. It was, I think, personally for me, was wondering will we see Peyton again? Peyton left, and it was
Oh
just like,
yeah, Peyton was a character that I thought was really really underutilized in season one, and I really like Ali Mashanka, so I was looking forward to seeing more of her, and she was used really well in here. Like I liked her a lot.
yeah, she was. She was used a bit more better once Liv and her got back on page, which I thought was really handled very well. With Liv and Peyton being back to being friends, where she came to see Peyton and they hugged it out. I thought that was really touching. I was like, yeah, that's
I
good.
mean, to be honest, like I would take some time away to process that whole thing too. My best friend just told me she was a zombie, and she like got what was it? She got stabbed or shot or something.
She got stabbed.
Yeah, she got stabbed, and like Peyton saw that. I would take some time to process that too. To be honest, I wouldn't just be like, all right, we're still cool. because even though you're like a brain eating zombie, I would have been like, all right, I need some space. Let me think this out. I'm gonna come back. So that made sense to me, at least.
It did definitely. We got to see they really put the emphasis now, which I thought was pretty interesting, and we would me and Malcolm would actually bring it up a lot. Oh, the emphasis of when Liv eats the brains, like you see her always doing some kind of cuisine with it. You
Yeah,
know,
she's really creative with like what she does with these brains. She'll like either turn it into like jam or like a brownie or like a sandwich. Like and a lot of that stuff actually looked pretty good.
yeah. I mean, I would see there were times where she would cut it up like in the chicken, like cutlets, and
Yeah,
eat it
yeah.
in the sandwich. I was like, every time they would just see her, she chopping up the brain and they're doing this, and then you just see her eating it. She made like ramen noodles and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I remember that one. She likes to make it into milkshakes too. She does that all the time.
And I also even like the crimes were a lot better in this season too. Like
And
what
they were actually, and all the little cases were actually connected to the big case this time. So like it wasn't just mystery of the week type of thing.
yeah, that was also a good thing too. Is like they this time around, what I did like, guys, was the fact that there was a whole story that combined everything. Like they all had a little bit of it was like a puzzle.
Yep.
Each case,
Although throughout this entire season we just kept repeating that old catchphrase. Damn it, Major.
yeah,
God damn it.
we got to talk about Major here because me and Jay came up with this line that we said in the first season. It was like, damn it, Major. Like it was always something with Major that we were just like, damn it. Like, and in this, we find out which they focus a lot more now on, is Max Rager, and he was kind of like the other like big bad, or I guess you could say antagonist in this, and he knew that there was always that speculation of, was he a zombie? Remember in the first season, it was like,
Yeah,
was he a
yeah,
zombie?
and like especially because his hair stood up whenever he was around zombies and stuff, so he had like the same zombie sense that like Liv and Blaine had.
And then pretty much we see him, and he brings in Major and says that Major. We found out Major had that kind of sense too, his zombie sense. His hair will stand up when he knows zombies, and he basically exploited that and told Major, okay, you're gonna take out all these people who are zombies.
I mean, we already saw that Major can go full out Punisher in that last season finale for season 1. So I mean,
Yeah,
it kind of made sense that they turned him into a hitman. Like,
yeah, and pretty much Major would become their like go-to guy to get the zombies. But what we thought and what would happen is Major would grab them, he would knock them out, and then supposedly kill them. We thought he was killing them.
yeah,
And
but he was actually putting him in a freezer to wait for Robbie to have a cure.
yeah, I mean, and the thing about it was also because the other thing, because of the fact that he was being watched by the redhead.
Yeah, yeah, the bitchy but admittedly hot roommate. I think her name was like Rita. Yeah.
Yeah, Rita's, yeah, who it turns out to be Max Rager's daughter.
Yep.
And we
Man,
didn't find that out until,
she's got a fucked up family, man.
yeah, we didn't find that out until like what, later in the season.
Yeah, it was after the mid-season break. Yeah, I want to say it was like after the mid-season break we found that out.
And she would watch, make sure that he was doing it.
And she like really wanted Major too. She just kept jumping on him. Like I was just like, oh dang, all right.
Yeah, she did. Like I thought it was just an act, but it was at times it was like, does she really like him, or is this just just to get and make sure he's doing his job? And she would throw herself at.
I mean, I guess there are some work benefits that go beyond extra pay.
Yeah, and Major, would, and then there were things like, damn it, Major, like.
Yep.
But he was not killing them, and once I saw that, I was like, okay, but he was keeping that from everybody, and we saw that throughout the
Yeah,
whole.
and it was mostly because he was being blackmailed because he's like and because Max Ranger was like, if you don't do this, we know one zombie that we're gonna target first, Live
Yeah.
More, and he was like, all right.
We also got to see that in this season, Clive get like a love interest in this,
Yeah,
which
the like the hot FBI agent. I don't even remember the chick's name. The blonde girl. I don't.
yeah, she was she played like a big kind of not minor but major role because she was on a case looking into the Chaos Killer.
That's what they call ended up calling Major. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Clive was still investigating the death of his police chief, or the head detective or whatever, the Asian dude that was a zombie.
Tanaka.
Yep.
Yeah, Sanaka. I know. Yeah, I think it is very Japanese. Yeah, we found out he was a zombie, and they were looking into. And then there was more with Blaine. Man, Blaine was. How do you feel about what Blaine's going through?
Blaine was pretty interesting this season, especially after he took the cure again and he lost his memory. I thought that was actually. I watched Kat's review. Kat said she didn't really like that, but honestly, I liked it in a sense of we actually got to see what Blaine would be like if he was more good, not entirely good, but more on the good side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, I didn't like him. I really when Peyton was using him to get info on Mr. Boss. I was just thinking.
I saw that comment. I was like, oh, he's gonna hook up with her. He's gonna hook up
I
with
was
her.
like, Peyton, don't you do it. I was like, don't you do it. And then, yeah, it happened. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, yeah.
It wouldn't be a CW show without at least one love triangle. So there's got to be one.
You know what else was, I mean, with Mr. First of all, I got to talk about Mr. Boss. What a little punk he is. I'm like,
he's pretty much just a poor man's kingpin. He not even a poor man's kingpin. He's a poor man's like tombstone.
the Mr. Boss was just a punk to me because that's the same guy that was getting tortured.
And it's Blaine's dad too.
Yeah.
And he's Blaine's dad. So like you're doing this to your own kid. Like
Yeah, but they did have a lot of family drama in this season, like Blaine and his dad, and you know, still what they started with. I think that was probably the worst thing that happened, guys. In my opinion, is that they dropped that story arc with Liv and her family. You know, it's like, what are they doing now? It's like, yeah, okay, Liv didn't give the blood trend, but her brother seemed to be okay. Like, who
yep.
she get the blood from? It's just.
Oh, and the female, according to DNG in the comments, he says that the female agent's name is Dale.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
So it's Dale. All right, cool. But yeah, Mr. Boss, he wasn't even really a major player, but yeah, his part, he did kind of seem like a punk.
I'm telling you, just sound like a punk to me. I was like, I mean, like when Liv remember when Liv had when she ate that brain of that costume crime fighter.
That was pretty funny.
And when and that was when we first got to see Mr. Boss, and it was like I know that guy. I was like, oh yeah, that's the dude that got tortured by Frank and Thomas Jane's Punisher. Yep. He was playing a crony in that too, and then what also was interesting is I thought was going to be a fallout between Liv and Clive at time, because remember where she got really in too deep, and then
yep, and he thought she would get killed, and it was during the costume thing, right? It was during that costume episode, and then the following episode when like one of her favorite actors got murdered, on her TV show Zombie High. Like she ends up getting involved in that too. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked that they dealt with that, but it was solved pretty organically. Like that's the thing. Other than the family issues thing, most of the like conflicts are solved pretty naturally.
That is true. That is true. You know, they were solved a little bit better and not like through other means. Um, not as much. The other thing is not as much guest stars in terms of outside guest stars on this season, besides maybe Rob Thomas. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that really
That
Rob Thomas?
that was cool. I was like, oh man, that's Matchbox 20 guy.
Yeah,
That's my, and ironically, that's one of Cat's favorite bands. So I was like, oh, Cat's gonna like this.
and yeah, the interesting thing also that I found interesting about the when especially later in the season is when things really started to complications with Major, and Ravi started digging into Ravi started pulling out his little detective skills and was like, okay, we had Minor here, and then the dog goes missing here. I was just like, look at Robbie go, like
Yeah.
and
Robbie, honestly, out of all the characters, he didn't like necessarily develop much. But honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Robbie was fine how he was.
Robbie was fine. I find Robbie to be fine because of the fact that he is truly still being the character that he was from the first season.
Yeah.
Is being that loyal friend to Liv, and he wants to cure her. It's not like he hasn't stopped. He had
he's honestly the heart and soul of the group. Like without Robbie, I don't think like their little team would stay together.
I was scared at the end of the season when Ravi went in after Blaine went in and took out Mr. Boss's guy. I thought he was going to get shot. I was like, oh, please don't get shot.
And I mean, and they're still kidnapped too. Like that's the thing. They ended it with them still being kidnapped. Like they're still captured.
They are. I thought Blaine got them out.
I don't know. I think. I mean, I watched a couple hours ago. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're still captured. Comment, help us out here. Were they still captured by
Robbie's not captured. He's not. They were fine. Like Robbie came in, saw Blaine hugging Peyton, and then it went back to what was going on under Max Rager. That was what I remember.
Okay. So all the guy. Oh yeah, Blaine took out all the guys. Oh yeah, and he was just hugging Peyton. All right, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, Blaine pulled the Punisher act too, with his night vision and stuff. Who else definitely wanted to start mentioning? Okay. I gotta go back to Max Rager because oh my god, that guy's a fucking
Yo, that motherfucker got exactly what he deserved. I was so happy when that happened. I'm like, oh.
Let's talk about that. Did Max Rager get what was coming to you? Damn right he did.
Fuck yeah, he did. Cause I mean,
he had that coming. I was like,
talk about poetic justice. I was thinking that when he was pressing the button and the zombies weren't going after Major, that they were gonna start going after him. Like they're gonna break through and go after him. But I loved that like he gets trapped in the elevator and his daughter is the one who eats his brain.
No, what was funnier was when Major came through and pulled the.
Oh yeah,
that was hilarious.
I mean, because that dude is obsessed with '80s crap.
Yeah. And
like
Major shot him in the hand, and he's like, "Oh, I couldn't even."
Was I the only one that thought of Colin Farrell and Bullseye?
Yeah.
Like,
wait, what makes it weird is because if you look at it, it's shocking that what was his daughter's name again?
Rita.
Rita, yeah. It's funny. Rita went all full George Morero, but just a few minutes ago she was talking with Liv.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, wait,
she went full Romero on there. I was like, oh, but just seeing her eat his brain, I was like, yeah, you got that coming, bitch.
I love Major. He's just like he gives him the act. He's like, good luck.
Good luck. And
that was so satisfying.
But there's one character I think we haven't talked about yet, and that's Liv's new boyfriend. I thought that was really. I was sad for.
Yeah, that's the second zombie boyfriend in a row that
Yeah,
got killed.
how messed up is that? Like, Liv's had 2 zombie boyfriends. Well, actually, technically 3, if you want to consider.
I mean, if you count Major, but Major didn't get after Major got turned when they were broken up, so that doesn't technically count. I don't think.
Technically, yeah, but then they came back and they hooked up for a while, and Robbie was like, "Y'all can't have sex and everything."
Yeah, because zombieism is apparently an STD.
Yeah, and then they broke
But
up, and then she started dating.
I like that Drake guy though. I
Drake
like.
was cool. I kind of called that he was an undercover.
Yeah.
Something about it was just like,
Because
don't know, I've been
the way he carried himself was definitely a lot like a cop,
yeah, the way that was the thing that kind of tipped me off. I was like, first of all,
and especially when he mentioned like military service and all that, I was like, yeah, he's definitely a cop.
I was like, no way, he's just a handbag, just thug character for the boss. And I'm just like, he's carrying himself too. He's showing Liv his mother, and I'm thinking, okay, this is just some woman that, But then I'm just like, I'm feeling that he is exactly who he said.
I mean, I had a feeling that as soon as they got like really attached to each other, that he was gonna die. I was like, I don't think he's gonna last. I don't think he's gonna last. As much as I like him, he's probably gonna die. I like the other guy too. I think his name was like Lowell or something.
Oh, the British dude.
Yeah. He was cool too, but it just didn't last. But I guess now that they're both zombies, I mean, hey, there shouldn't be that much of an issue now.
I'm thinking like they have both Major and Liv kind of go apart from a while, have their own kind of flings, and then I'm thinking
He had a thing. He had a thing for that zombie hooker. He had a thing for that zombie hooker.
That's who he was looking for too. Like when when he was asking, did you see her? And she was gone, But I think one of the other things was that actually is the fact that I have a feeling Clive's girlfriend is going to come back because he knows that he's hiding something. And let's talk about that. The fact that Liv told Clive
that was a real shocker. I was like,
I did not think it was going to go there, but she came in and she said the Z word. I was like, whoa, she said it, and he didn't believe her. And then she went and took that butcher knife and went, what? And you saw her eyes turn red, and I was like, whoa, like he told her. Because if you watch any interviews of all of them at like cons and stuff, they always ask Clive. They always ask the actor, "You think Clive is going
to?" Even Kat did that last year at New York Comic Con. Yeah, she asked Clive the same question, and he was like, "I don't really know, man."
Yeah, and he always said, "I think Clive is just going to be kind of that outside guy that just."
And you know what's funny? He talks with the same accent that his character does. He's the same.
Dude he's a New Yorker. He's
he's got that same kind of Bronx accent. Like
the actor who plays Clive is from. I researched him and I was like, this dude. I was wondering, like, is this guy from New York? And then I look, dude's from the Bronx. I'm like, whoa.
Because I was like I recognize that like that little slur he does there where he just kind of emphasizes the end of his words and he has like that kind of like sigh at the end.
I mean, come on. I wonder if that's really his favorite team, the Knicks. I'm like, there's got to be a playoff of him a little bit. And
because all you have to be from New York to actually like legit like the Knicks. To be honest, like I'm not disrespecting any Knicks fans because even though I'm personally not, but like New Yorkers are the only like real diehard Knicks fans. I don't think anyone outside of New York is a diehard Knicks fan.
I believe so. Yeah. The thing about it is that when she told him, he kind of got around to it real quicker than Peyton did. And I think that was just more for plot service. I think more like, okay, we need him to up to date real quick with it. And I really
also they needed to get Major out like ASAP. Otherwise he was just gonna eat the entire freaking jail.
Yeah, because that happened to Liv in this season too. When she went to jail, and she nearly flipped out on a couple of her inmates in there. I remember one episode where she came out and she went full zombie, and she's just punching this girl, and she's just going. It's just, I was like, oh my God, Liv. I like when Liv goes kind of all Punisher, like when you get to see her like when she's not fucking around. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, when she's not fucking around, like when she came in there.
In the last episode when they were on Mercenary Brain, that was pretty fucking awesome. I was like, yo, that's
Oh, when they went in their full like body armor and stuff.
yeah.
That was when they were on that dude that tried to take Liv.
Yeah,
And
the
I really
mercenary dude.
right there. First,
the mercenary dude.
I was like, first of all, Ravi comes in and he's like, "Oh, getting bodies, dude." And he's like, "Oh yeah." And a good thing Ravi was like really like, okay. He saw it and he's like, "Wait a minute, Liv." And then I'm a little bit shocked that dude got up after taking that shot from that fire.
Yeah, that was a hard hit from a fire.
Like,
you got up after a couple minutes. Like it would have taken.
What? This dude got up and you could just see how loyal Ravi took a couple of lives in this season. I was like, and I like the fact that they played off like he's not really comfortable with it. He's just like he's shaking. I mean, he was just shaking like somebody's life. After he saw what the guy, because he was using the same kind of
he was trying to overdose,
but yeah, he overdosed it. Yeah, and probably one of my favorite episodes of this season was probably later when Clive and Liv got back together and they were at that like when were having like this coffee like war.
Yeah,
I was like,
the coffee shop episode was pretty cool.
Yeah.
My favorite episode though, probably just because it was just so damn funny, was the episode where she ate the brain of the erotic novelist librarian.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
And you had Kristen Bell reading the audiobook, and it was just, oh my God, it was so funny. And for those of you guys who don't know, iZombie was actually created by the creators of Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
So, Kristen Bell, obviously, huge part of that, because she was Veronica Mars. So that was, I loved that. I loved seeing that.
I think probably a mutual friend of ours, and I kind of agree with him, said it too, Victor. He's just hoping that they don't go overboard with that, always having Liv in like some kind of sexy like brain or something like she.
I feel like they're gonna do that like a once per season thing. Like there's gonna be one sexy brain per season, because there was in the first season she ate the brain of like a sex guru, or like some kind of like artist or whatever that like drew a lot of like sexual painting or something like that. And then in this one, she had two this season, because she had the stripper.
She had the stripper.
And she had the erotic novelist.
Yeah. And she had also the didn't she have like the very over she was very vain for herself, always dressing in these hot
the like the fashion, like the high fashion chick, and she ends up making friends with that girl that worked at the store, and it turns out like she betrayed them or whatever.
Yeah, that was who she was going. Just beating that girl up. Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that also about the last season, that this season ending finale, which is interesting, is the big fat black security guard. That motherfucker left.
Honestly, he had a smart move. That was a smart move. You gotta admit, like you see these people rushing through this gate. You see a bunch of zombies. I would have hauled ass too.
No. First you didn't see them at first, and then he let them people die. I couldn't do that.
I mean, I laughed so hard. I'm like, dang, for a fat man, he ran pretty fast.
He did. He was gone.
I was like, this motherfucker is like all the way down the fucking driveway. Like, damn.
But I gotta ask the comment. I gotta ask the viewers. Did you guys think Clive was gonna get scratched by Liv? Like, no.
Also, a second question
Happen?
though: would you have let those people? Would you have opened that gate, or would you have kept it closed and hauled ass like Fat Boy?
I would. I'm okay. Personally, me, I would have let those people out, but I would not have let them die. Like he watched them for a good few seconds, and then
I mean, I would have let the first few, like when the zombies weren't when the zombies weren't close. But those are some fast zombies. So I would have let like a few out, and then been like, oh, bye.
I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. But seeing when they were all like, it was like a standoff, and they knew like the zombies kept coming.
Yeah, the end also brings up a funny point. I love that the background music for that scene was "Ooh Child."
Yeah.
Ooh Child, things are gonna get easier.
And I thought it was like, and they were just saying like, because the fact is
See,
true.
all right. So DN is with me. He would let the first 10 out, and then he would book it.
Okay. Yeah, but I just wouldn't be standing there watching. He stood there for a
Yeah,
good.
no. See, that's my thing. I wouldn't be just like staring at it. I would be like, yo, hurry your asses up.
Yeah, but he was gone. That fat boy was gone. I was like, man, he gone. Big boy can run.
Yeah, I was thinking of that Simon Pegg movie, Run, Fat Boy, Run. Oh my god. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
do
Liv
you guys
definitely.
think that Liv was gonna scratch Clive? I thought so for a good second.
I thought for sure. Like I thought he was gonna be like, you know what? Okay, like you help me, I'll help you. You know. But
Yeah, like throughout the entire commercial break, I was like, she's gonna scratch him. She's gonna scratch him. Oh man.
and you know what makes it is like all it takes is just a little scratch. Like it doesn't have to be deep. It just has to be a little and you turn
You
and
know, that's another thing. That's another thing of why I think Major and Liv shouldn't have had sex. That's another reason why I don't think Major and Liv should have had sex. Because what if she like accidentally scratches him during sex, and then that's what happens?
and the funniest thing is like I could only imagine Major as Clive as a zombie because he would be pale and it's like the dude's black, so like he would look probably ashy.
Yep. Zach the Thunder King says I would release a few of them, but then I would run like hell. See, yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much how we would all do it.
And then the contract lady comes, who bought Max Rager's company, and she comes out all like,
Yo, she was a badass. I'm not even gonna lie. She was like, "Come get some." I was
"Come
like,
get some," and
"Yo."
I'm like, okay, who is? That's the contract girl.
I'm like, "Yo, this chick is nuts." I'm
I was
like,
like, and then of course, you know, she's giving them weapons and Major, you got another one of those? And I thought it was pretty funny, and she was like, all right. And of course, and then the big reveal at the end of this was
I loved how they did it too because I'm like, wait, that's a Matchbox 20 song that the dude is playing. I'm like, oh, they ate Rob Thomas's brain. They ate
yeah,
Rob
and then you
Thomas's.
just see her, and she's just like, yeah, hi, you want some? I'm like, oh, she's a zombie. I didn't even know
Man,
it.
and she was like, Seattle is going to become the capital of zombie home of the zombie homeland. Are you in? Are you guys in or not? And she's looking at Liv and Major, and I'm like, oh man,
Well,
it's gonna.
Major wasn't there, but Liv was.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was
And
like,
it was more like,
are you in Olivia Moore? And I was like, oh man,
so I think definitely that she's going to be the big bad.
yeah,
Um,
that's gonna be interesting. Like,
I don't think Liv is going to accept it. You know, she's going to be like, no, I'm not going to. No, I'm not.
yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be like a zombie civil war. It's gonna be like Liv is probably gonna gather up some of Major's like of the people that Major rescued or whatever,
Yeah.
and then
It's
they're probably gonna.
or probably all those zombies that they had, and like I need your help, like because let's face it, like it'd be different because first of all, these zombies that she has a military training and things like that. It's like, oh, that's kind of scary already.
Yep. And those aren't just regular zombies either. Those are fast ass zombies. Like,
Yeah, which I love that they call they go full zombie
they
Romero
call
and
it.
zombies. I
Yeah.
love that. I'm like, yeah, that's a good one to call it. But I think somebody asked me a question not too long ago. Yeah, somebody asked me a question on Twitter. Let me look it up real quick. Um, let me see real quick. I want to see it. Somebody asked me a question on Twitter. Um, there. Wait. Okay, here we go. Here we go. David Clark. Um, do you think they should add other elements into the show? Uh, um,
Honestly, I think zombies are good enough for this
I
show.
think yeah, I was about to say I think because in the real comic there were werewolves.
There are
There were
werewolves, there are ghosts, there are witches, there are mummies,
yeah.
there's vampires. Yeah.
I would, maybe one other element would be cool. I wouldn't. Maybe werewolves could work. But they'd be like very secretive too. Like keep it on a down low. You don't know
Yeah.
which one is one.
Oh, here we
Uh,
go. Dian asked a very interesting question. How would you guys have answered, that question if you were in Liv's position? Team human or team zombie? I would still go team human.
yeah, I still would go Team Human. Even though I am one. If I was one, it'd be just like still I still have my humanity. I don't want to feel like
Yeah,
I'm.
and I still have my friends and family. If I was in Liv's position where I still have friends and family to protect, I wouldn't want to progress like the whole full on zombie apocalypse thing going on there.
Yeah. So I stay Team Human because once again, there are good ones and there are bad ones. Like so, yeah, keep it that way.
Yep.
But overall, this season was really good. It just makes you wonder how are they going to top the next season.
I mean, they're going to be going up against freaking zombie mercenaries, so that's going to be a good way to.
And how much is and will Blaine get his memory back? Or is he going to be
Yep.
this way?
I
And
mean, and,
will there
and
be
with,
like
with, with Blaine's is Mr. Boss dead now?
no? He's still around.
Okay, he's still around. Okay,
All,
he's still.
all his men are dead. Well, just some of his men and Blaine's boys are dead.
Yep.
What's big man got shot right in the head? I was like, oh yeah, he's dead. No, wait. Is the skinny bald one dead? I don't think he is because he just got shot.
He got shot in the stomach. He got shot
Yeah,
in the
he's
stomach.
alive. Yeah, he'll live.
Because I thought they were gonna reveal that he was a zombie or something. Because when he shot him in the stomach and he was like, "I hope it hurts," I thought they were gonna show him like have the red eyes or whatever, but they kind of just cut away.
So yeah, he'll live. I was like, yeah, okay, he'll live. But the big man, the big one with the eye patch, what he called Chief, I think that was
Yep.
what they called.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead for sure. But I do have a feeling that Clive's girl is gonna come back because she's gonna know. She wants to know. Probably want to know why.
Why Clive ruined both their cases? Yeah.
Yeah, like makes you wonder more. Will Clive get into more of asking Liv was my old captain a zombie? Because I think that's something that Liv needs to tell him too. Like, yeah, he was a zombie. You
Yep.
know, because she knew. Remember in the first season, he helped her out,
Yep.
and so I think yeah, he's gonna let her know.
I also love that like his reaction when like those zombies first come up the stairs. He's just like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I think another a dick move from Major, which really not Major from Max was when the zombies got out and he left Rita. I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, you bitch, like yo, do you even care for your daughter? I was
No,
like,
and I love how he was like, all our guinea pigs are escaping, which means there's less and less of a chance of us finding your cure. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
And then before that, like, and then she comes upstairs all cut up. I'm like, is she one of them now? And she just banging on the door, let me in. I'm like, oh, you just watched her. I was like, you bitch. I was like, and it's, you know what makes it worse is that actor who plays him. Every time I see him, he plays a dick douchebag role now. I'm like,
I mean, Blaine's actor plays dicks in every show he's in. Also,
yep. So it made you wonder, like, this dude is a fucking
like
prick.
like freaking Blaine's actor Clancy Brown and the guy who plays Max Rager are always typecasted as assholes.
So I got a question for you subscribers. Like, name me out of this season. Name me one of your favorite episodes, and I want to hear. So that's something.
We already talked about a couple of ours. Like I said, I really liked the erotic novelist one, and I liked also the country singer one. The country singer one was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So yeah, I'd love to hear one of those act. What's one of your favorite?
Oh, they're talking about. Do you guys think that if Dale comes back and doesn't let this whole thing go, that she's gonna die? And Zach thinks she's gonna die if she comes back. I don't know. I think maybe she'll turn and maybe like join the contract killer lady because she seemed like a pretty cold chick, to be honest.
Wait, who?
Dale, Clive's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If she comes back, yeah, she may. I think she may get bit or turned.
Yeah, I think she might get turned, and I think she might join with the contract killer lady because I'm like, she seemed kind of cold because like she didn't really care. She just wanted to, get the case.
It kind of, I don't know, because it kind of made, she kind of felt like a little cold, but I think she did care about Clive. It's just that
I think she cares about Clive, but I think the thing
I
is,
think she was just too much focused. She was a career woman. Like,
yeah,
this would have made her career, I
yep.
think. And see how she even said it. Like, she was, maybe you should join the FBI with me, and I won't be here forever. And it's just like, but wait a minute. FBI has mostly branches in every state, so why can't you stay, here?
Yep.
That so there was some. So I kind of think she may, but then I think she won't. Like, because just the way about doing things, I think she would still be kind of like, look, I want to stay. I can't be like you, because look at them. At that end, they all look like they enjoyed. Like, you're just like, you want some? Like, the way she came off was like, yeah, she
Yeah,
enjoys it too
yeah,
much.
that was crazy.
You know,
Although Liv was kind of enjoying it when she was eating that one brain, and like when Blaine gave her that brain in like the whatchamacallit, the
yeah,
little.
yeah, because, well, she needed it because
Oh
she was,
yeah, she was hungry. Yeah.
yeah, that one. But yeah, most of the time when you see Liv eat the brains, it's more like she does it to help.
She does her whole fancy cuisine thing too, so she's not like just eating the brain directly. She's eating it in some kind of food.
Yes, give it some kind of, still, you could see like it's still some sort of, like, she's still reigning her humanity.
Yeah, yeah, she's still human about it. It's not just eating brain. It's just food.
Yeah, it's just food, and the fact that now that almost like she doesn't have to hide it from everybody makes it even better. It's like the I guess I can call them the Fab Foursome, because they kind of, like, when they're around each other, they kind of remind me of like a Fab Foursome. Like, yeah, they're cool about it. So I could see somewhat about it, but like the other, like her, I'm trying to remember the contractor's name, but she was like,
Uh man.
she was just eating it raw, like, and I was just like, oh man, poor Rob Thomas. Like, he just got, I was like, man, he got killed.
So DNGN says pretty much all of the Blaine heavy episodes were my favorites, and Zach the Thunder King says my favorite episode of season 2 was the stripper brain. And the one with the TV show, and the one with the magician. Oh, the magician one was good too. I almost forgot
Yeah, the
about the
magician one
magician.
was good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was really good. the magician one was really good. Yeah, a lot of them. I would give credit. A lot of the Blaine episodes were they were good. And at times I look at Blaine, I'm like, man, you a bitch, you stupid bastard.
I honestly think that like Rose McIver is very much like in the same vein of like a Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black, because every episode she technically has to play a different character on top of playing Liv.
Yeah,
Cause like yeah,
you
cause
know what
like
was funnier? There was also I like when I think it was the episode with the coffee shop where Ravi was like, you know what, I can't believe they're making a new Power Rangers movie. And I was like,
that was a superhero episode, because she was like because one of the actors was leaving to try and be the Blue Ranger for the Power Rangers movie, and Robbie's like, hold on, let's focus on the important news really quick.
yeah,
They're making another Power Rangers movie.
and as you all know,
I love that Liv was like, he doesn't have what it takes to be blue.
yeah,
Or yellow. Yellow definitely is more important than blue anyway. And I was like, oh, yep, because you were the Yellow Ranger.
yeah,
All
like I was
right.
gonna say, yeah, as you all know, Rose McIver was on she was on Power Rangers.
She was on Power Rangers RPM, and
Yeah,
she was pretty good. I liked her as a Ranger.
so that was pretty.
Both her and Malcolm from Jessica Jones were on the same team.
Wait, who?
Malcolm from Jessica Jones. Remember the druggie from
Oh
Jessica Jones? Yeah. Him and Rose were on the same team. He was red, she was yellow. So yeah.
All right, let's see. Any more comments?
Oh, Dash Raymond says the Coffee War and the superhero episode were my favorites.
Oh, hey, Dash.
And then DNGN says the bookie one was good too. When we first meet Stacy Boss.
Yeah, that pretty much was. That was one. Let me see. I'm trying to think. What was something else I wanted to mention? Oh, I'll tell you one of my favorite was when Liv found out about Rita. I love that.
Yeah, are you talking about when he found out that Rita was the one that like Major was sleeping with? Yeah, I was like, yeah, she was.
First of all, it was funny because I think she came in and Major, she's like, oh, this is my roommate. And they're like, okay, take care. Bye, Rita. I was like, he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose. And then she looked.
Because remember because a couple days before that she was on like what was it? It wasn't stalker brain. It was like paranoid girlfriend brain.
Yeah,
and she was all up in his phone and shit. And then she's like, "Who's Rita?" and oh man, that was so good.
I thought she was gonna wail on her even more. I was like, "Get her some more." I was like, "Hit her some more." Like
I wanted to see a full on girl fight, man.
But I'm not gonna lie. That one punch did all that damage to her eye. I was like, man. I was like, that means Liv put up a lot of anger into it. Like,
I'm telling you, it's that Power Ranger training. Like they don't fuck around in Power Ranger boot camp.
She went wham, like, and then it was first person view too, which was funny. And then you just saw him like, did he hit you? Like, yeah, that was the only time I actually saw Max actually have some concern for. I'm like, what?
No, but I want to ask a question to you guys in the comments also. So, in terms of this love triangle we got going on here, are you more for Peyton and Ravi or Peyton and Blaine?
That's a good question. Because
what about you, Chris? I'm leaning more towards Ravi, but mostly because I like Ravi more than I like Blaine.
Me, when we saw, first of all, when we saw them kind of hook up again, and I could see, like, I was like, Ravi, she's getting turned on. You could see that, and I'm like, I like them together. I actually like them together. They're different. They're opposite, and usually opposites attract. And I'm like, yeah, that was cool. And then Blaine, he slept with Blaine. I'm like, oh, what did you do that for?
Yeah, no, I love the moment where like Liv and Major walk in and they're making out on the couch, and
Yeah,
and like Peyton just drags Robbie to her bedroom, and he's like, "Well, I guess we don't need this inflatable mattress anymore."
and well, yeah, hey guys, you got Major. What's up? What's up? It was like,
Major was just being a total like he was just like Robbie's bro right there. I was surprised he didn't try to give Robbie a high five. He was like, "Sup?"
it was like, okay, that made me laugh. That made,
I would have gave Robbie a high five. I would have gave Rob. I would have stopped him and like, all right.
yeah, high five. High five, bro. Because man, I'm not gonna. Peyton is man. That girl is she is.
Yeah, yo, she was hot ever since Phil of the Future, man. But then again, like that was that was a show I watched growing up. Man. She was hot back then, at least for me. Well, at least for me. So I already knew like that she was gonna grow up to be fine as hell. But man,
Like her when she's in her like 88 dresses and stuff. I'm like, man, she's beautiful. Like, and when they always zoom in on her face, I'm like, man, she's got a beautiful face. I love her face. Like, just put her on her face a lot. It's just like, oh.
So
See her in
so Zach is like Zach says Robbie and Peyton because Robbie really needs a win right now, and DNGN says Peyton and Blaine because I think that Peyton is the only person that could keep Blaine good, well at least as good as Blaine can get.
Yeah, I don't. I'm. It makes me wonder. Here's another question. Do you guys think Blaine's memory will come back, or will this just be a new chapter in his character? He has to start all over as being this new guy. You know.
So Dash is also with Robbie and Peyton. So that's three. That's three for Rob and Peyton. One. I'm sorry, Dian, you're in the minority here, but I'm sure you're okay with that.
So I think I think I think I think I think I think he won't. I think he will get his memory back. I'm kind of
Yeah.
yeah, he will. I think he will.
I don't think it'll come all the way. I think it'll just be like small fragments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when he gets enough of it, he'll start to question himself and all that stuff, and maybe Peyton will try to bring him back and all that, so that he doesn't take like 2 steps forward and like 5 steps back.
But it was funny. I remember the other that was another episode I wanted to mention when they brought his dad out of his cryo, and he faked like he was from the future. He's like,
yeah,
Dad.
DNGN brought that up. It's like I love that prank that Blaine pulled on his dad with the makeup. I was like,
it's me from the future, and he's like, yeah. You're 50 years in the future. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, he did that. His dad was a jerk anyway, so.
I mean, the Dick apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Nope. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, he did it. He did it. I can't believe he did that. That's so funny. And the makeup was pretty legit too. It's like,
yeah, right? He looked like a cyborg.
He looked really old. I was like, it's me, Dad. Welcome to the future. That's funny. That was hilarious. That was funny.
Yeah, but, that was pretty. That was a good one. That was probably the best Blaine moment, I would say, because that had me cracking up.
But it also there were I would say one thing that this season definitely had over the first is a lot of tearjerker moments.
And a lot of good, also a lot of good character progression. I feel like there was way more character development in this season than last season.
I think yeah there was a lot more in this one. Like I said, we talked about Peyton. Really she was a little bit more. She was played a little bit more roles in this one than the first season. Like you would see her from time to time. Like wait.
Peyton was essentially like Peyton was essentially Liv's Foggy, like
Yeah,
in a literal sense. She was doing her lawyer thing, but at the same time, she's still that loyal to a fault best friend.
yeah, that can drink you under the table.
Oh
Because
man.
like I remember, because Robbie would always have to listen to her, and Liv would always tell her like, "You went drinking with her, didn't you?"
Oh man, that was pretty funny.
You know, and it was what was funny. It was like he would wake up with like headaches, and he had to take like the hair of the dog, and he's just like,
Oh, so for any of you guys who saw Legends earlier tonight, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but just a funny question. Who do you think would win in a drink off, Peyton or Sarah? No, because there's this scene, right? Because they go to the Old West, so they're in like an old timey saloon, and they're drinking like old fashioned whiskey, and Hawk Girl is like, oh, that tastes like gasoline. Heat Wave's like, hit me again, and then Sarah just keeps going. He's like, you can hold your liquor. I like that, and he's just like, yeah, I've been on dates with plenty of guys who thought they could get me wasted and then try to get lucky. A lot of them just ended up under the table.
"Wait, Heat Wave is back."
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the twist with Heat Wave, but it's interesting.
Okay, because I got major catching up on Legends. That's another show I got to catch up on. Definitely like, but definitely.
Oh man, that's true. DNGN brings up a good point. The thing that makes Liv's team so cool is that she has a Foggy with Peyton and a Cisco with Robbie, all in one show.
Ah!
That's so cool.
That is
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah, but it also is cool because she's got she's got brains, and she's got the like a legal system in there as well
Yep.
from Peyton, and then she's also got like law from Clive now that he knows. So yeah, he's always gonna now she and what makes it better now, she doesn't have to play dumb with him like I had a vision. Yeah, because I'm psychic. It's like yeah. But it's gonna be interesting how far they're gonna take because now he knows like she eats the brain, so it's like okay.
Yeah, I remember. I always think it was funny when it's like she has the when she was like what was it when Clive always almost tries to eat her brain food and she's like no.
Yeah. Now I wonder if he's gonna bring that up. Like, so all those time when I was about to eat something of yours, was that brain food? Yeah.
Uh,
Because
that's a funny answer. DNGN says Sarah has those Lazarus Pit zombie kidneys, so she wins. Sorry, Peyton.
Sarah wins.
I'm telling you, she was knocking them back. She wasn't even flinching too. She just said,
That's crazy. Well, we saw Sarah drink like that before, so she drinking old whiskey. Like, okay, I ain't fucking with you. Like,
"Oh man." Ollie just keeps Ollie broke like repeatedly breaks the number one rule of guy code: never stick your dick in crazy. Yeah, put that on. I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt one day. I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt.
there was one question I saw. I looked at. Yeah, I think the actor who played Drake was Grinder from Flash. I think he was.
Girder. Oh yeah.
I think he was
Oh
Girder.
man.
He was. Yeah. So yeah, it just shows like how like see how they just get actors from other CW shows.
I mean, hey, they like to keep it in the family.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Uh, Nah, I can't. I won't do that
Uh,
crossover.
I mean, it's Vertigo and DC don't really cross over ever, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Nope.
There were a couple times where I think Martian Manhunter or some JSA characters showed up in like Sandman, but I don't think anyone's gonna cross over to iZombie.
No. Not at all. I don't think. But it makes me wonder about how big is the zombie population? Is it?
That's what I'm thinking, and I wonder if the Seattle incident wasn't the first,
Yeah,
zombie outbreak. Like if there are other zombies in other like regions and stuff.
that's what I'm wondering. Like, not just in the U.S., but also in other countries. Like, are there other? Because when I remember when once again Mr. Dickhead, well he took that comment from one of his people that hates that energy drink, and the guy was from Taiwan, and then he's like, look what happened to him, and I'm like, he did that. I'm like, oh, he fucked up.
Oh, that's funny. DN brings up. He's like, besides Amanda Waller, Nissa Al Ghul, Diggle's wife, and his family members, Ollie's fucked every female cast member on Arrow.
We don't know he didn't mess with.
Yeah, he probably fucked Amanda Waller too.
Yep,
I'm not.
that's what I was about to say. He probably did, but that bitch dead. It was coming. I remember when she dead. I actually posted that on my Facebook. I was like, "A bitch is dead." All right, yeah, let's go for her.
Oh man, the wall has fallen.
Yep. Somebody was like, "Oh, she's alive." I was like, "Dude, she got shot in the head. She dead. She dead."
Unless they pull some Nick Fury shit into the LMD.
No, she's dead. Keep her dead. Keep her dead. No, that's no more of that shit.
Anyway, anything? What else? What else should we talk about?
Let me see. I wanted to mention. Uh, did they answer that question that I asked before? Like, should we get more of Liv's family again? Where that stands on that? Like, wrap that up. Because I actually would love to see that be wrapped up like properly. I really wish that was wrapped up properly instead of like the way they did it.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. Like honestly, I feel like that Liv had enough going on where I feel like if they added the family stuff, it would be too much. But what do you, I'll leave that to the comments. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I kind of thought they left off kind of badly on it.
Oh yeah, no. Zach the Thunder King is asked, was I the only one who thought that the scientist who took the tainted utopian drug during the party was a dumbass or was stupid? Yeah, he was a fucking idiot.
That was stupid because I'm like,
Like, why are you gonna take zombie drugs and drink the zombie drink together?
like, yeah, I was like, wait a minute, aren't y'all the scientists that work on it, so you know what it does? And I'm like, and that's why when they were on the steps,
and
the
other scientists even told the guy that's the same utopium from the boat. Like,
yeah,
so you know it's gonna turn you into a zombie. What the hell?
yeah, I was really
Some scientist you are, dude. Like, really.
man, that was dumb. I was like, yeah, that's real smart, you jackass, jackasses. I mean, and they were chugging it down too. I'm like, look at these idiots.
Yep.
And just seeing them, like, once they came and they jumped all over those guys, like, man, they jumped on those guys and they were just biting their heads off. I was like, oh my god.
So DNGN agrees with me. He thinks that if more screen time with the mom and the brother would have just interfered with the other subplots with like Peyton and Ravi and Major and stuff. So yeah, like I said, I feel like it's a lot tighter when they just focus on our main cast.
That's not bad.
I'm also really surprised at how well they handled the increased number of episodes, because some shows, I'm not naming any names, Teen Wolf can't handle when they increase the episode numbers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because most shows like when they get ordered, first they're only ordered for like 13 episodes, then they
Teen Wolf is at its best when it's only 13 episodes a season because they only have one story, one
as
plot
soon as they
line.
mention Teen Wolf right now, I'm all pissed off with that show right now. Man, my girl ain't gonna be there no more. What the fuck?
No, trust me, I'm mad about that too.
Fuck.
My friend just randomly messaged me that, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And he sent me the video, and I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Like, oh, I'm like, man. So I'm a little pissed off about that. Like, damn, Scott, both girlfriends gone.
Right? I mean, but at least Allison got closure, though. Allison, you got some closure with Allison. Hero is just like, nope, fuck it, bye bye. Ah, fuck.
Any more
Nope.
comments?
Nope. Well, okay, so Dash says, I say yeah, but next season they could be used. Um, and then Zach says, speaking of unresolved, they never resolved the issue with Blaine and his father and the maid. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. Okay, so DNGN asked, so which is better, Teen Wolf or Wolf Blood? I haven't seen Wolf Blood,
I have not watched Wolf Bloods.
so
That's
I
more.
can't. So I can't tell you a comparison. You'd have
Yeah,
to talk to Kat about
that's
that
the
one.
cat about that one. Yeah, that
But
one.
Teen Wolf is really good, though. DNGN, like the first, especially the first 3 seasons. No, and season 4 too. I think season 5 was just they had too much going on this season, and every show has at least one bad season, especially if they've been going on for multiple seasons. So I feel like this is like season 5 was the one bad season for Teen Wolf.
Yeah, like they took what I perceived to be, oh, they just made my. So I don't even want to mention his name right now too because I'm worried about him. But MJF's classic movie and made it darker. That's what I perceived it to be at first. But then Jay and Kat kept saying, "Oh, you gotta watch it, Chris. You watch it." So I started watching. I started watching the season, and I was like, "Whoa, this is actually really good." And because I'm a big werewolf fan, and as it is, I love werewolves.
And and it's not just werewolf stuff either. It combines a bunch of different
Yeah,
mythology, like Gaelic, Norse, Greek. Uh, they got Japanese in there with Shinto stuff with like kitsune, and it's really interesting.
yeah, like they go really in depth into like different different legends, different like they go on the Wendigos, they go all kind of, it reminds me of Grimm in a sense, which is another show that I love. And
I still haven't. I still need to check that show out. I still haven't. I still haven't gotten on that yet.
that's a well, they got the seasons out. That's a good show to jump on. And it got renewed for a 6th season. So yeah. So, that was another show I was hoping to get renewed, and it did.
Maybe I'm just bitter because my show that was on that same network got canned, and
Constantine.
yes, Constantine. God damn it, man. Uh, anyway.
Hopefully, Mr. Ryan will come back, and some say he may be on Legends because I heard like there's
Yeah,
gonna.
they're gonna start like a Justice League Dark theme. They said towards the end that a fan favorite hero is going to come in the finale, and I'm thinking it's Rip's dad, aka John Carter, aka Booster Gold. I want to see Booster show up, and it's like, you fucked up, son. You done fucked up.
Booster Gold. It'd be cool on. It'd be cool on Legends. What if they actually do Vixen on there? That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm pretty. So I guess we can open it up to general Q&A now, since we're kind of doing that as it is. So go ahead, guys. Ask any general questions now.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so where does iZombie go from here besides the defense contract lady? Is a question from DNGN. Okay, so let's go character by character for this one. All right, so besides the defense contract lady, I think Liv and Major will start to explore their relationship again, especially now that Major's a zombie and they can connect more with being on brains and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I also look at it from another point is like maybe they start wondering how many more are there. I think that's going to be a big plot is how many since Major had that list and Max
and,
Razor
and
getting
it was
that
and
list.
it was and it was and it was over 300 people.
Yeah, so and that's just in Seattle. So it was like, are there others in other states?
Also, something I thought about now that they're both zombies, can they have kids now? And would their kids be like full on zombie kids?
Oh my God. Don't remind me of that because I remember the zombie baby from Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, oh, let me see. Any questions?
Let's see. So that was the most recent one. Zach the Thunder King says, I would love to. Yeah, Beetle would be cool. And Ted Cord does exist in the CW universe
Yep. They always talk about Cord Industries. I'm like, okay.
and the Ted Cord Foundation.
Yeah. Anything else?
Um, DN says, do you think the defense contract lady will find the cure and use that as leverage over Liv?
Yep. Something like
De-
that. I'm thinking.
Definitely.
I'm kind of going back to, like I said, with going back to what Dash asked about the Liv's family. I'm thinking she's going to use them as leverage. Like she's going to track them down and use them as leverage. I wouldn't be surprised if she does that.
Yep.
Like
I mean, we already see that she's crazy. Like,
nuts. I'm like, yeah, this woman is this dude Dashy. This bitch is crazy. It's like, yeah, she's crazy. Like just the way I think about it. Okay, I see a question I want it because it's literally addressed to me actually. Uh, Dash, do you still watch Sleepy Hollow, Chris? I'm behind on Sleepy Hollow, but I know already that there was a major death at the end of this season. One of the main stars is sacrifice yourself, and Twitter blew up after it too. Basically, one of the female characters, not Ichabod, but the lieutenant, Abby. She died.
wait, is that the chick that everybody calls the Bamf?
The what?
Is that the chick everyone calls the Bamf? But I heard that one of the Sleepy Hollow's characters' nicknames is Bamf. Badass motherfucker.
No, that's her sister.
Uh, okay. Oh, DNGN asked thoughts on the Doctor Strange trailer. If you want to see a funny Doctor Strange trailer reaction, go watch Chris's video because Chris freaking laughs like the Joker in that thing, man.
Oh
It
God.
was it was so funny, man. It was, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The funniest thing about that is I wasn't planning on doing anything because when I came home, I was like I'm just gonna chill. And then that day, then I heard everybody saying like Jimmy Kimmel was gonna show the teaser trailer for Doctor Strange. I'm like, I'll just wait till Marvel puts it up. Marvel put it up, and I went on and I watched. I was like, all right, let me just do a reaction to it right now. And seeing what I saw, they did exactly what I was looking for. Not a
man,
lot,
it
but it
was
gave
it
you
was
enough.
great. Like
And
those visuals were just amazing, and Chris and I both flipped out at the same point. When fuck Tilda Swinton, like, yo, I don't give a fuck what people say about Tilda Swinton now because Tilda Swinton was so badass in this. She knocked the Astro form out of Doctor Strange.
yeah, I
That
was like,
was
oh,
so cool.
Astro Form, and just seeing that, and of course, then when you just see him walking up, when he had the cloak of
That
leather,
that
you
cape
know,
is just that cape is greatness, man.
I was like, oh, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then I started hopping up and down. My inner child came out, so I'm just like, and then Dave J says to me, guys, like, and you laughing like the Joker. I was like, what? And then I went back to watch it. I was like, oh my god, I did sound like the Joker. It
Oh
was pretty
man.
funny. I mean, I got like that when I did a reaction to the Civil War with Spider-Man. I flipped
Yep.
out.
Oh man, I didn't even want to do a reaction video to that. I just did a thought video, and I was just sitting there, guys, he's here, he's here.
And I've seen a little bit of Panther in action fighting Bucky.
Oh, that extended. Oh
Yeah,
man,
I
that
saw that. I was
extended
like, oh,
scene.
yeah, all
That
right,
was
that's
so
good stuff
good.
right there. So
Oh yeah, so another question we got back that's on iZombie. Was I the only Zach the Thunder King says, was I the only one who thought that the people who Major kidnapped were gonna kill him after they realized it was him who
I thought a lot of things. I thought they
who
were gonna
knocked him out?
like why should we trust you? You're the one that kidnapped us and everything like that. It's your fault that we're here. I thought that was gonna be one of the biggest things.
Okay, so DNGN brings up a really good point that I'm honestly worried about with Civil War also. He says, would it be a mistake to show or withhold the Doctor Strange villain in the next trailer? I think Marvel Cinematic villains need a little more protection on the studio's part. I kind of agree because the villains in terms of the big screen are really weak. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're really, really weak.
Yeah. Um, I think yeah, they definitely need a little bit more.
And from what I hear about the early reviews, Zemo falls victim to that. I don't know the extent, but they said that everything else like the ideological clash was great, but Zemo kind of interrupted the flow of that, and he was meh.
Yeah, I think that's still the biggest chink. Excuse me, that's the biggest chink in the Marvel Studios armor right now is the villain. You know that still is their Achilles heel. They don't seem how to build.
Yeah, and Alana put it. Alana phrased it really well. I think she said, I think they focus way too much on the heroes that they don't give the villain enough love to where we would care enough about them. Except for in places like Netflix, where we care about Kilgrave to an extent, and Wilson Fisk. Come on,
Yeah,
like,
like if you
like
look at the Netflix side of the MCU, it's like those villains they get enough screen time. It's like, yo, okay, they care. Like,
yep.
I mean, for me, it's David Tennant. I watch that guy
Yeah,
name,
exactly.
but it's just like
David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. Of course, I'm gonna watch it. But like,
I
man,
watch him. But the way he came off as Kilgrave, uh, I was just like, yeah, he
that
nailed it.
that's why I honestly, as much as they're like, let's we want Michael Keaton to be the first villain for Spider-Man: Homecoming. Let's have it be Wilson Fisk. Let's have Wilson Fisk be the villain for the Spider-Man movie. And I want that scene that's from the Ultimate Comics where Peter thinks is all cocky and shit. He breaks into Fisk's house, and
Oh yes,
Fisk is just sitting there reading the newspaper and eating his food, eating his dinner. And Pete's like, what I love about the news? Whenever I see a story about a bad guy getting what's coming to him, and Fisk is just sitting there, and he's like, kid, one of these days, I'm just gonna find out where your school is, who your parents are, and I'm gonna kill every single person you ever known or loved, and no one's gonna know it was me except for you. And then Peter just goes, "All right," and he just leaves. He just because it scared the shit out of him. Like, and I want that kind of thing for Peter. Like, you give him a street level villain. That's the thing. Like, they keep saying Michael Keaton is going to be in this movie. Everybody's like Norman Osborn, Norman Osborn. I'm honestly kind of tired of Norman right now.
yeah.
I want him for the Vulture because I'm like,
Yeah, right now they're saying he's rumored to be gonna be the villain in that, and um the thing about Michael Keaton is he the villains he's played, they've been kind of mediocre at best. I mean, him being a villain in the remake RoboCop was
Yeah.
just kind of hilarious to me.
Because when he got shot, it looked like he sneezed.
Yeah.
And he died.
Yeah. If you heard that, that was my brother actually said that. But yeah, he's just, I mean, but when there was a poll, I think Jay, you put it up, was like, who could he play? Yeah, I think we're all kind of getting a little on Osborne. It's like, yeah,
whoever plays Norman has to have really really tight waves because that's essential to his character.
see, that was the one thing I'm really want. If they put Osborne in there, I want the traditional Osborne haircut. I mean, and that haircut is legit. I've seen pictures of guys
Yep.
with
Yeah, there are cosplayers that can pull off the legit Norman Osborn waves. Like,
okay, but if it was me doing Michael Keaton for a Homecoming, I actually say he could probably play Smythe, the man who created the Spider Slayers.
and honestly, that would work too because if you know your Spider-Man stories, Homecoming was a story that featured both Cap and Tony, so that would be good for Tony to help out with. If you're dealing with Spider Slayer robots, of course you call in Iron Man. Iron Man can help.
And that's what they're saying. Like those two characters going to show up in this movie. So because Feige keeps reiterating it to people, yes, he is in the universe. He's in it, and I'm like, okay, I believe you, Mr. Feige. I'm not denying it at all. But
Okay, so Dash has one, we are definitely both excited for. He says, "Are you guys excited that? Are you guys happy that Colleen Wing has finally been cast? Hell yeah!
yes,
I mean, I forget what her last name is, but Jessica, I don't even know her last name, but she was on Game of Thrones. She did a great job. She does a great job on Game of Thrones. She plays she plays a recurring part in Game of Thrones. I believe I think she's one of the Sand Snakes. And she was also the female X-Wing pilot in Star Wars The Force Awakens. The thing that I was happiest about is that she's half white and half Asian. Like the actress is actually half white and half Asian.
Yeah, I was very happy about that. When they said first, what was scary about it was Dash is the fact that it came out on April 1st.
Yeah, it did come.
April Fool's joke, but this was legit. And when they told, and I was reading what they say she's gonna be like, I was like, that is exactly how I said you should do. I said it. I literally said that. I said, whenever she comes in, she should be either a Kempo trainer where she knows Kendo and all that, or some martial arts expert. Like,
Yep.
and they literally say she runs a dojo.
She runs a dojo. That's gonna be so sweet.
A self defense dojo. I'm like, that's perfect. And when I saw the actress, I was like, she looks Asian. And I'm like, and anybody like myself who knows Colleen's backstory knows she's half Japanese, half white. And I was like, she's a mixed race. And I instantly was like,
and you know what? I feel like Marvel definitely did that to be like, hey guys, you realize that Danny is actually supposed to be white, but there are Asian characters related to Orange.
I think that was but I also looked at it from another point of view. Dash is the fact that yes, when Danny came back from Kulon,
Colleen was the first person.
Colleen and her dad was the first
people he met because her dad predicted the origin point of the portal.
Yeah,
when it opened up. Yeah,
I was like, yeah, okay, so they're doing it legit. But then it made me all happy because it's like, okay, we got Misty already, we got Colleen. It's like, let's bring
the dragon
together.
And you've been pitching that since Netflix first started too. You were like, yeah, that's definitely one.
I was like, let's do it. Like, and I actually sat down on YouTube one day and watched a lot of the actress who's playing Misty. She's really funny. Like, she has her own YouTube, and she's really funny. And I was like, okay, but she has that flair of Misty too. I'm like, yeah, she could pull it off.
So all right, so here are so DNGN gave us a couple questions also. So he says, will Marvel ever do a successful Doctor Doom in our lifetime? I would love to see the Triumph and Torment story. Oh my God, Triumph and Torment would be so fucking great. Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom team. Oh my God, yeah.
Ooh.
I would
First of
love to
all,
see that as a movie.
first of
Cause
all, yes.
fuck,
First, that character needs to go back to Marvel, because if that character goes back to Marvel, the way I look at it is that will be a character Feige will definitely take care of. Like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do him right.
Doom,
Like,
and honestly, Doom is my favorite Marvel villain.
yeah, Doom. If anybody has asked me who's your favorite villain of every villain before number one, I'd say Doctor Doom. He's
Like,
always been my.
yeah,
Is like
like for me, like Doom and Magneto always switch for me, but most of the time I say Doom. But man, that
yeah,
like
but definitely Feige. See, I've said I did a video not too long ago where I'm holding Kevin Feige to this, because he said in an interview for Empire magazine about Thanos, and he says when Thanos comes, they're literally gonna be like, now you understand the reason why we built
I
him.
mean, you've been building this dude up for a decade. He better be worth it.
So, and I've said it. I'm like, I'm gonna hold you to that, Mr. Feige, because that's another character you cannot.
Yeah, and also, and that's another thing. Like, where do you go from there? Like,
Yeah,
it's
where do you go
Thanos.
from Thanos? I mean, it's like, where do you go from Thanos in terms of a threat like that?
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
that's another thing. Until we get the FF, we can't get something like Kang the Conqueror or
You can't
fucking
get Kang.
Galactus.
You can't go Galactus. You can't get, and I don't even look at Galactus as a villain. You can't get Annihilus. You can't get any negative zone
Man,
villain.
the Guardians of the Galaxy Annihilation Conquest movie. Oh God, that
See,
would be
and that's
so
the
great.
thing right there. It's like you can't get it because
That would be so
Annihilus.
good.
Oh my God, I would love to see a
Oh,
yeah, that'd be great.
man.
That'd
Okay,
be
so
cool.
the next question he asked, this one's a sore subject for the both of us. Thoughts on the Ghost in the Shell outrage. Honestly, I I fucking oh man,
Oh,
no. All
look,
right, so look, I love Scarlett Johansson. She's a great actress. I've loved a lot of her work. She's proven that she can be a fantastic action star. But the major Kusaragi is fucking Japanese. Give it to a Japanese fucking actress.
uh,
She Scarlett Johansson can play an American character in the Ghost in the Shell movie, and that would be cool. But you can't have her play Major Kusaragi.
I mean, it's like,
The
but
Major
I,
is
I
a
get
Japanese character.
I get kind of tired of seeing when these Japanese properties get brought over here, and these studios then they whitewash the characters. They're gonna do it with the Death Note movie, and I'm just like, and I don't even watch Death Note, but I'm just like, and I like
It's
Scarlett.
not like you have a shortage of it's not like you have a shortage of like Asian actors. I
I mean,
mean, like a Full Metal Alchemist movie, I can accept having white characters because that's set in Germany. All right,
yeah, it's like,
you got white actors. Okay, cool.
I mean, to me, it's like with the Major, who is one of my favorite anime female characters. I'm like, when I heard she was cast, I'm like, oh, here we go again. I'm like, really? And there's a point of me, there's another side of me, guys, that's looking at it from a point of, yeah, well, there are not a lot of people that don't know this character, and I'm just like, oh,
But no, that is totally not true because
I'm like, yeah,
Ghost in the Shell was one of the first major animes to bridge the gap between Japan and America.
and then
So that's a load of
and then
crap.
it's just like they need a big star. I'm like, yeah, but I
You
once
could
again,
get somebody like freaking Maggie Q or
yeah,
Lucy.
it's
Like
like,
I would even take Lucy Liu. You know what? I would even take if you really wanted somebody people know. I would even take Lucy Liu.
I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't hate. First of all, hate is a strong word, and there. I mean, I've never said I hated an actor in terms like hate, but I just must not dislike them, but I don't know her personally, but it's just like I would think like she kind of looked at this role as like, well, shouldn't this be for somebody else? Because Arden Cho, who plays Kira, she tweeted after it was announced. She even said, even we Asians even can't even get to play anime characters. I was like, man, that hits hard. I was like, yeah, she's right. And it's terrible, you know. And then somebody will throw, but Taylor, Miss Sweeney's playing the ancient one, and that was an Asian character, and I'm just like, and I also will agree, yeah,
And
maybe
no,
it's
see, and I had this argument with a friend of mine in my comments of my Doctor Strange, trailer review, and the way I see it is like this: the ancient one is like again an ancient, super powerful mystic. I feel like the ancient one can change his form to whatever the fuck he wants at any given time. So
and I
maybe
also, yeah, I
yeah.
also look
So
at it from that point too. Is like, what if it's, and also what if it's like a title that's
yeah,
passed
if it's a
down,
mantle, yeah,
that's like a
exactly.
mantle, so they're kind of going it from that standpoint. And then I also look at, I was like, well, Wong's still Asian. Wong is still Asian,
And
so
he's actually named Wong. Like
yeah,
the,
he's
the
actually
the
named
actor
Wong. So,
the actor's name is Wong. I thought that was
yeah,
pretty cool.
so I just don't really
You
know
got you
about.
got two Benedicts in this movie playing, side by side, Benedict Wong and Benedict Cumberbatch.
I just don't like the fact that, constantly with these anime properties, they're going with that. I mean, they did it with Dragon Balls, like, and I didn't
But
care for it.
we're not talking about Dragon Ball. Oh
Yeah,
no, no, we're
and
not.
he did it. They did it with, even though it's an American cartoon, but it's very Asian themed. As the Last Airbender, I'm like, sorry.
That gives me nightmares.
So
Nightmares.
I just like, yeah, stuff like that does get me a little TO'd. So
But another question, DNG and brought up. Who would you guys cast in an MCU for one of the MCU's fourth wave movies? He said, I would like to see a Nova movie or a Nova Corps or at least Nova movie or maybe even a Nova Spidey team up. Now it depends. Which Nova are we talking? Are we talking like I would want Rich Rider personally because that's the Nova when I started getting into Marvel Cosmic stuff. That was the Nova I was reading.
yeah,
Um,
that's right there. The problem with the right now, the problem with that is that with the Nova Corps, you see that they're just ordinary like space cops.
yeah, but before anybody says anything, I do not have anything against Sam. Sam's really grown on me actually, but still, I've got a place for Richard Rider, especially because how much he grew by the end of by the time Annihilation came around.
Yeah,
Man, he
when
really
yeah, he
matured.
grew up really well with that. And
Once he
having,
cut off that damn mullet,
yeah,
he was good.
so yeah, I think that's a definite. It'd be hard. First of all, you got to explain where the Nova Force came from. That's the biggest thing. Is like, where does that power come from? And because the Nova Prime, Glenn Close's character, she ain't showing any of that power at all. So I'm like, yeah, but I would love to see Nova. I mean, that's one of the characters. I would love to see the Human Rocket. I'd love to see that character in all his glory with the world mind and all that.
Good old Buckethead,
Yeah,
man.
Buckethead. You would want to. I would want to see Buckethead. Um, as
And Zach asked, "Is anyone else happy that Jane Foster isn't going to be in the next Thor movie?" I was never really a fan of Padme, so yeah, I'm cool. I'm fine with Jane not being in this.
you know,
I mean, because you could tell in the second one that she did not want to be there.
yeah,
So
I was just about to go on that. Zach probably knows me well enough to know that I don't. She's another one. She's another actress I don't hate. I don't dislike her. I just feel that she gets to these roles, and it's almost like, do you want to be here? Because like the first one she did, which I still like Thor 1, but I still think Marvel really dropped the ball on the Thor franchise. Period. I've said that. I've been very vocal about that. First of all, I did not like that they made the Asgardians aliens. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, yeah, I don't like that.
they should actually be gods because they better not do that crap if they bring in like Hercules or something.
I'm like, yeah, they should be real gods. I mean, I didn't like that. I didn't, and I was just like, see, now that y'all bringing in, y'all got Doctor Strange bringing in the mysticism and all that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so now we can get things like Hercules
yeah,
and
so I'm
like
like,
all the
why
different
couldn't
gods.
Thor be? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Well, y'all had to go the alien route with that. Yeah, they tried to bring in a lot of Waltzman's, Simonson's run in the second one, and didn't tank out too well.
They failed pretty hard,
It felt
especially.
pretty hard. I felt really bad for that because it's like Walt Simonson's run of Thor is a classic, and a lot of
I
people,
think where Thor 2 really kind of flopped is that they tried too hard to make it a comedy, which is why I'm so scared for Ragnarok. Is like you guys are pushing it even more as a comedy now, and it's the Twilight of the Gods.
yeah, you don't use that name and say, oh, it's a comedy. We're gonna a buddy comedy. I'm like, it's called Ragnarok. You know what that means? It's like, you know what that means. It's just really bad. But with
That's why I'm not even excited with the whole rumor about what's her name being cast as
Teresa,
Valkyrie.
Teresa Thompson.
Yeah,
The thing about it is like with Portman, it's just like, look, definitely you could tell the second one. It was like she was to me. It was like she was just there for a paycheck. I was just like, yeah, she didn't care.
she was obviously phoning it in. Like
Yeah, she,
Kat Dennings looked like she was having more fun than Natalie Portman, and
it was like
Kat Dennings was just a sidekick to the sidekick.
if that was the case, why did you hire her in the first place?
And it's not like she's a big name anymore. Star Wars kind of tanked her career.
and the fact is, like she Jane Foster is a very essential character to Thor.
Look at her now. She's freaking Thor right now.
Yeah, like and the fact is that her not being in the third one, if there's any female in the universe, in terms of the cinematic universe, that I miss seeing and I want to see what's going on with that character, is easy. It's Betty Ross. That's who I want to see.
I want to see Lady Sif because Jamie Alexander is so
Yeah,
awesome.
in terms of outside of Thor, outside of Thor, I want to see what's going on with Betty.
What did
Because
happen to? Yeah, nobody ever talked about Betty. Like,
I didn't mind Liv Tyler's performance as the character. Granted, I would have loved to see Jennifer Connelly come back to play that role because I thought she was a pretty good Betty. But when you look at the Thor,
the only small reference we got to Betty was Tony's contingency plan for Hulk being called Veronica, which is like that was a small Archie joke with
yeah.
Betty and Veronica.
But the fact of the Thor run is like, first of all, that's why I'm so happy that Jamie Alexander has her hit show Blind Spot, because she's really good on that show, and that show is really good. And to see what they've done with Sif, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, Sif is just, I don't like what they're doing. It's like there was supposed to be rumor that Sif was gonna get a mini and everything. We're gonna see more of her, and I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, I should have did it because
Okay, so DNGN brings up this one, and it's kind of funny because in Chris does a video series called Versus Match with a Twist, and the recent episode is favorite alien, and this character was actually brought up. So DNGN's question is Beta Ray Bill too much to hope for now at this point?
I still think it's not. I would love to see them bring in the Corbinites. I would love to see that. I mean, there's a couple of Thor-like characters that could work. I would Thor girl.
I'm not the biggest fan of Thunderstrike, so he can stay the hell away. I never liked Eric.
Eric Masterson.
I never liked Eric, to be honest. Like maybe it was the costume. I just never liked Eric. I wasn't a fan.
Thunderstrike. Yeah, Eric Masterson could probably stay away, but Horseface. I'd love to see Horseface.
Yep.
I'd love to see him and Stormbreaker. I'd like to see Thor girl. She would be cool. I mean, Marvel should really be thinking about, okay, if Mr. Um, if or Chris Hemsworth doesn't want to come back as Thor, then yeah, maybe. And you
I
want
mean,
to have
but if you really think about it, I feel like out of everybody, I think Chris Hemsworth will pull a Jennifer Lawrence and be like, no, I don't want to be Thor anymore. Oh, wait, I don't have any other franchises besides Thor. Let me be Thor some more. Just that's how I felt with Jennifer Lawrence with Mystique, because she's like, oh, I don't want to be Mystique anymore. But then she's like, oh, Hunger Games is done. I don't got a franchise, and I don't really make that much money with these Oscar movies. So I'm gonna continue to be Mystique, guys.
I think for him, I mean, he's got a couple of franchises. I mean, they seem to keep doing more of these Huntsman
But
movies,
but do those really make money though? I don't think so.
and but I don't know. I think he's another one that seems to like the character, but I think the problem my problem with MCU Thor is that he's so
He's weak as hell.
weak. He is so weak, and I'm like, man, this is not Thor at times. And then, but the one guy that definitely really loves to play his character is Mr. Evans. He said it plenty of times. Tomorrow wants I will come back, and this is coming from a guy who was very resent to play that role in the first place. And now look at him. He loves playing Captain America. So I would love to see him continue to play Cap.
Yep.
Even if he is the only founding member of the Avengers that's still around after maybe in the next phases, I would mind not seeing Cap with other Avengers.
Honestly, he's the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for me. Man, you don't understand. I got so hyped when I tweeted because when they had that whole choose your side tweet hashtag Team Cap Team Iron Man. I responded. I was like hashtag Team Cap because I'm with you. I was like I'm with you at Chris Evans. I don't like bullies. And then like I got a message from Chris Evans. I was like, oh shit, is this actually Chris? I'm like, yo,
He said your
so
name,
cool.
right?
Yeah, that was so cool. I was like, oh my! I've listened to that message at least 10 times. Like,
Yeah, I did it too, and Anthony Mackie messaged me and tweeted me back and said my name. He's like, Christopher. I was like, what? He said my name. He said my name.
I was freaking out. If you guys have a Twitter, you should definitely try that because it's so freaking cool. Oh man. Especially because I tweeted directly at Chris Evans and I got Chris Evans to respond. I was like, oh my god. But okay, let's see what other questions we've got here. Beta Ray Bill one, we already read that. Zach says, have you guys read the new Archie series? Oh, I love the new Archie series. If you're talking about the Mark Waid one,
I gotta catch up on it, but yeah, I've been.
Yeah, I love the new Archie series.
It's Mark Waid, Zach. You know me with Mark Waid.
I'm a Veronica man myself, even though literally every single person I talk to is like, I like Betty. I'm like, nah, I'm Team Veronica, guys. Veronica's a lot more. I don't know, to me, Betty is like the Gwen. Veronica's like the MJ. So I'm like, I'm gonna go with Veronica on this one.
Adam Hughes did a really nice picture of them together. I was like,
he's gonna be writing and drawing that Betty and Veronica series, and I'm getting that. I'm totally getting that. What else we got here? Let's see. Okay, DNGN says if Wonder Woman and Batman do well, but Suicide Squad and Justice League tank, will there be no more hope for the DC universe? Huh.
Wait, what was the question again?
He said if the solo movies do well, basically he said if the solo movies do well but the team movies flop, will there be no hope for the DC universe?
That's kind of a good question.
That's really tough. I feel like Affleck's Batman movie is going to be great because to me, right, the thing that hindered Batman v Superman, and you know what? I don't even care if I offend the guy. It's Snyder. Snyder was like his whole angle was and like his approach to storytelling is why the story didn't really make that much sense. But when you have Affleck, someone who's won multiple Academy Awards for his screenwriting, even back in the day for Good Will Hunting, his original screenplay for Good Will Hunting won an Academy Award. This man is gonna make Batman great again. And
And from what I hear, he's writing it with Jeff Johns.
yep,
So
and he's even said he's correcting some of the stuff that he felt was wrong in Batman v Superman, because Affleck is a hardcore Batman fan.
yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, but then it's like, but he said the same thing about Daredevil too. So maybe I don't know if I can fuck on that one.
I don't know. I've actually seen him do a lot more stuff for DC and stuff that's Batman related. If you look at a lot of his earlier movies with Kevin Smith,
Yeah,
he's always talking about Batman. And I think the only reason he wanted to play Daredevil was because he couldn't get Batman at the time, and that was the closest he could get.
let me see. Okay, I got one. Dash. Are you guys gonna see the TMT movie? Fuck no, I'm not. So don't ask me.
Chris isn't, but I am, because
Yeah, Jay is, I'm not.
to be honest, that movie actually looks kind of fun.
Not.
Like I'm gonna see it because they sold me when they got Bebop and Rocksteady in it, and then so I'm like, I'm gonna ignore Megan Fox. I like Stephen Amell, so I'm cool with
It's a lot of fan service, but for me, Bay's still attached to it, and I don't give a damn. So no way. That man.
But the Turtle Van though, Chris, the Turtle Van, come on.
Turtle Man, I don't. Yeah, okay, but I don't like the turtles look like they're mini Hulks. I still don't like that look. No way. I'm like, no way, no way.
Oh man.
I know Krang is gonna be in it too. I'm like, yeah, this is just a lot of fan service. Keep that away from me.
Oh yeah, and cool fun fact, my buddy Corey, a mutual friend of ours, my buddy Corey, his sensei is actually a Foot Clan ninja in the Turtle movies. He recurringly plays a Foot Clan ninja. He was also a hand ninja in Daredevil. He's like he works as a stuntman, and apparently like he does a lot of thug roles in
Thug roles.
yeah, he played a foot ninja. He played a foot ninja in the first TMNT movie, the first new TMNT movie, and he played a hand ninja in season 2 of Daredevil.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. Invictus. Chris, on a side note, are you going to do the corner again? Victus, the corner now is on Malcolm's channel. Yep. So if you want to watch the corner, watch it on Malcolm's channel. I still do top thing for wrestling, but it's not the corner anymore. The corner is officially now Malcolm stuff. So you go to his channel, Oakland 93. That's where you'll find the corner now. So there you go. Veronica is a bitch. Betty's just basic. Wow. Let's see. Let me see. I got one. Zach says, I'm not sure if anyone brought this up, but can we talk about the fact that Black Bolt screwed over the mutants?
Oh yeah, with releasing the Terrigen Mist bomb. But to be honest, that didn't really affect mutants like that before.
I'm looking at this because honestly, it's weird in a sense because I think Marvel just added that because
it's really weird because Quicksilver got his powers back through Terrigen Mist.
Exactly. That's why
they were even stronger than before because the Terrigen Mist and the Terrigen Mist is supposed to enhance the X gene.
Yeah, like I remember it actually neutering.
The only reason it killed a couple mutants who tried to use Terrigen Mist is because it kind of over exaggerated the X gene to the point where they couldn't control their powers and they burned out.
I remember when he gave it to Callisto, who had lost her powers, and it's always been hard to figure out what is Callisto's powers, but all her senses are very heightened. That's what some of her meat. That's her meat. Well, literally, when she took some of the Terrigen Mist and she got her powers back somewhat, but they intensified her heightened abilities, like her sense of touch, like little raindrops
It hurt, yeah.
It hurt her skin so bad, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like she had to run. But I think Marvel just did that because Terrigen never did that to mutants. Like they never
They
do
just
that.
needed a bullshit excuse to write out the X-Men because they don't have the X-Men movies right now. But
Yeah,
the
I'm
X-Men
thinking that's
movies
the
do.
case.
But the X-Men movies do well enough where they can't. But the X-Men is such a beloved franchise that they can't
Yeah,
just cut out X-Men
they can't cut
altogether.
out. I mean, they can cut out some characters, but there's just characters you can't just.
Like they can cut out Fantastic Four because I mean, as much of a cornerstone as the FFR, like their honestly their book doesn't sell nearly as well as it used to. So I can see why they're shelving them until they get the rights back, which shouldn't be that long because there's no way Fox is gonna do another
Fox
one.
ain't doing jack crap with them no more. Like my thing about that, it was always, and I've always thought it was legit because they would always report it. The only way these studios keep those rights is if they keep making movies, and Fox ain't gonna make it. They took.
I love this. DNGN said Black Bolt actually released the Sony can't sue us mist. Nah, that's funny.
That's funny. So I don't know. Like there's just some things.
Honestly, and I don't get this whole push for Inhumans in the first place. The Inhuman books aren't even that good.
I like it. I definitely like Uncanny.
I mean, the one with Black Bolt is good. Is you know, it's pretty decent. But like the other one with like, I don't like the Crystal one as much as I like Crystal herself. I don't really like the Crystal one.
Oh, you're talking about all new.
Yeah.
Uncanny with Charles Soule writes that. Yeah, and that first story arc with
Oh,
Black.
with Black Bolt in the Sun, yeah, with Kang
Yeah,
and Cover, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I was loving that. I was like, man, this is good. And you felt really sorry for Black Bolt, but I love that scene where Black Bolt witnesses Johnny Storm kissing Medusa. And I loved it. It was so cool because his Black Bolt and Johnny, and Black Bolt's telling, kind of, you know, saying, not really talking, but because he can't, but just signaling like, look, he pointed to Medusa and was like, yeah, I still love her, but he said basically in a sense saying if you hurt her, and there was a candle next to her, he just took his hand and went like, I was like, oh
Oh man.
yeah, Johnny, you better be
Because
careful.
I mean, Johnny's already shown that he does have a thing for Inhumans. Because I mean, he was with Crystal, and
Yeah,
now he's with.
that's why I laugh at it. I'm like, wait a minute, so I wonder what Crystal thinks about it. You're dating my sister now, like
I mean, Johnny does seem like the type that he doesn't care that he would date within the same family.
Johnny has dated. He was married to a Skrull. He was married to a Skrull, Lyra. He dated Crystal.
I'm telling you, every Marvel character has a type. Kitty likes Peters. Johnny likes aliens.
So I don't mind that they're pushing the Inhumans. It's just that I don't want them to prostitute them, because right now that's what Marvel's doing with Gwen. They are prostituting.
My thing with the Inhumans is they're trying too hard to make them into X-Men instead of just making good Inhuman stories. They're just basically using the X-Men template and saying, okay, we're going to do this with Inhumans instead of X-Men.
That's definitely in this MCU. Definitely, they are. That is definitely the Inhumans in. That's why I've said it. The Inhumans in MCU are the Marvel as the X-Men equivalent, because
I'm really surprised they haven't like gone out and said, oh yeah, by the way, Wanda's an Inhuman.
yeah, because honestly, you look at it, it's like they're feared, they're hunted, and it's just like, yeah, this is the mutants all over again. It's like and the fact is like it still makes me wonder that since the Inhumans are already showcased in Agents of Shield, it's like, how do you bring in the royal family without kind of going a little bit into Agents of Shield? It's like, because it makes you wonder. Like, I mean, even if I think Agents of Shield should do it. Like, actually, not name drop them, but just talk about, just hear somebody talk about, like, you're gonna do this. They wouldn't like this. Who's they? What are
Yep.
you talking about? Like, who's they?
I mean, they kind of hint at it because they keep referring to the first generation Inhumans.
Yeah, like you keep.
So I don't really know. So jumping to the other side of the tracks, DN asked, "What are 5 things you would change? You want to change from as a result of DC Rebirth, and 5 things you would keep from the New 52 era." Well, one thing I would keep for sure, I would keep Vibe. New 52 Vibe is awesome. I love Vibe.
Karnak. Yeah, I definitely will agree with that one, Zach. Karnak that's my boy right there. That's my favorite.
Isn't that done by Ellis?
But the only problem is, at first it took so long for the second issue to come out.
Yeah. I heard that was like a 4-month gap.
The 4-month guy. I was like, you know what? That's typical Ellis, because he did that with his run of Astonishing X-Men. I was like, yeah.
He also did that with Moon Knight too, which is why he was only there for 6 issues.
Now, was that 5 things I would change for DC Rebirth, and
5 things you would keep from the New 52 from the New 52.
Okay, I'll go with Vibe, because old school Vibe.
He was just a joke.
Old 80s Vibe, old school Vibe. It was dead. He's dead now, and I don't need no break dancer anymore. But New 52 Vibe, which is Cisco is based off of. Yeah, he was cool. I'll start with the 5 things I would keep.
Bunker, I would keep Bunker also. They just need to use him more. Bunker was a cool character.
I would keep Bunker. I would keep. I'd bring back. I would bring back Batwing. Have both of them back.
Well, actually, I like that. What I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but David. So I like that David actually was like, you know what? I can do more good in my country outside of the costume as a lawyer than inside of the costume as Batwing. So I like that he gave it up.
But I'd still kind of have, maybe not in costume, but I'd have him around, being more like that ally too.
Yeah. I could see that.
That's 2. 3. No, wait, yeah, no, what did I say? Oh yeah, 3 was Bunker. Yeah, I'd keep Bunker around. 5. I don't. I'm hoping that they'll keep Rancor, the first human Red Lantern around.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. I was like, yeah.
Red Lanterns was one of the best. Was it one of the best series from the New 52? Especially when Charles Soule was on it, man. That was good stuff.
And number 5, no, it wouldn't be. No, I'd bring back old school Raven. I'd bring back old school, because I did not like Cassie Sandsmark New 52. I was like, fucking bitch. Like, she's a bitch. I can't stand her.
She was also really slutty, to be honest. She was hooking up with everybody on the team.
Let me see. No, because I'll come back to the 5th one on that. But something.
I would also keep Jason Todd New 52, because Jason Todd New 52 is not a raging psychopath, and he actually wants to get involved with the Bat family more. So I like that better, to be honest.
5 things five things you would change in a deal. Well, first of all, wish there was a Captain Marvel book, the Marvel family, period. And I won't call him by that name. I'm sorry. Definitely the JSA. Shit.
If you look at the DC preview book, they're hinting at JSA coming back. So.
Oh God, please, thank you.
That's probably going to be the Johns book.
Let's see. Well, they got the Titans, but I'm not. I said I'll read the first issue with Percy, but I'm telling you,
I hated his Green Arrow. I'm very skeptical about.
I'm like, if he screws up like he did with Arrow, I'm dropping that. I'm not even going to bother. But let me see something else. Uh, See, I really want Black Lightning back, but I want the original Black Lightning back.
One of my biggest changes, and I guess this is going back to Jason Todd. Get Lobdell off of that fucking book.
Yeah.
Get,
Oh God.
this
But
dude
no, yeah.
this dude has been on this book for 5 years. No, it's like Dan Slott, but with Red Hood. Like you need to let this book go.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you on it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like get him off. Get him. That's why I said my thought. I was like, fuck no. I was like, no, I'm not even reading that. I mean, it's funny how they keep pushing this Red Hood and the Outlaws and it's like, but the Dell is still on it. It's like, what?
Honestly, it would work better if it was Red Hood and the Outsiders, and you got Jason Todd, Grace Show, you got Thunder, you got freaking Metamorpho, or some shit like that. Like that would work so much better.
Let's see,
But no, they don't want to do that shit. They don't want to do something that makes sense.
those are some of the things I would say. The changes could be made more than just characters, like canon details and costumes and teams. Costume wise, I wish Superman was back in his classic look. I don't mind the underwear over the pants. That's one thing. That's
I haven't been reading what Abnett's doing in Earth 2. Is that any good? What is Abnett?
I haven't. I did not even get into Earth 2 Society. Once Taylor left that, I was done. I was like, yeah. And besides, that was another title that DC just kind of hoarded out because after a while, that series did not need two titles. And then it became to the point you had to read both books to understand the stories that were going on. I was like, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh man, no, but yeah. Another. Let's see. What else would I change? For I can't even think right now. What would I would like. Can we get Corey back to normal? Because she's either really aggro or really dumb. Like, can we just get normal Corey back? I'm hoping that maybe in this new one, normal Corey will be back, but fingers crossed. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I still don't get. I mean, I like the new animated movie, but I don't get why Corey's not with her friends on the Titans team. With I understand they're trying to go with the '60s team, but like Corey should also be over there.
I think Corey should have been with all them. Like I thought she was gonna be a part of because that's continuing Titans Hunt, so I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I thought that was gonna be he was gonna be there along. I'm just glad that I like Donna. Donna has a remnants of like her classic look. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So, definitely that.
Oh, Dash actually asked us if we've watched Justice League versus
I
Titans.
haven't watched it yet. I want to see it. I have to watch it.
I've seen it. I liked it. I thought this was honestly the best Batman movie that they've put out. So why did I call it a Batman movie? This is the best animated movie out of the new line they've done so far, besides Flashpoint Paradox. But I still count that as part of the old line because it was up until Flashpoint Paradox they did the New 52 line. But out of the New 52 line, I think this was the best one. My favorite moment was Jaime fucking up Damian because Damian's a little shit, and the Scarab got pissed off because Damian was insulting the Scarab, so the Scarab fucked him up. So he deserved that, and I was happy. And Damian actually grew in this movie, so I was, yeah. He
his head's still
actually,
big.
I mean, his head's still big, but like
No, I don't mean it in that way. I mean, does he still got a big head? Because
oh no, that's never gonna change. Ever since he was first drawn, like his head is like really disproportionate.
Big head. His head is huge. I always laugh at that. Malcolm brought it up. I'm like, yo, his head is big. I start looking at other people draw. I'm like, his head is big. It's always oval shaped and it's big headed. I hate that kid. I can't. He was growing on me at one point, and then his character just tanked for me. I'm like, yeah, get out of here, you little shit. Getting tired of your ass, man.
Honestly, it took me a while to like Damian, but once I started liking Damian, I really liked Damian. It wasn't up until in Ryan Q. Miller's run of Batgirl where Stephanie's like, "Hey, you're 10 years old. You should learn to have fun." And she like played video games with him and like showed him movies, and he actually started having fun. You find out that he had a crush on Stephanie. He also had a crush on Supergirl, so I think he has a thing for blondes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dash also asked thoughts on the Batman R-rated animated announcement. So I guess you're talking about Killing Joke. I'm really excited.
I've seen a little bit of the making of it, and I like the fact that they're going to put more emphasis on Barbara in this, and
yeah, with the prologue. And they got the entire original cast from Batman the animated series.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't mind that. This is going to be DC's first animated rated R movie, and I don't think it's needed, but for this story, yeah, it's needed.
For this subject matter, they definitely need the rated R.
They need it because there's some stuff in that story. Remember, this was at one point was just supposed to be an Elseworld story. It wasn't going to be like
but then it was so well received they added it into.
Yeah, they added it into the universe that it was.
And honestly, this was what put Barbara's character on the map. And it's sad to say that, but before that, she wasn't really much other than Dick Grayson's girlfriend and Batman's occasional sidekick.
And the commissioner's daughter. That was about it. So this really helped her in a sense because of the fact that she went on to become Oracle and stuff like that.
Oracle personally means a lot to me because Oracle was the first ever major disabled superhero, and that was amazing. That was it was a huge milestone, especially for people like me with disabilities. We finally had someone that we could look up to. Like Babs was like me. She had to struggle with the same problems. People looking at her differently because she was in a chair and things like that, and having to overcome her own confidence and gain her confidence back, and really to become one of the biggest players in the DC universe after that.
So definitely, in a sense, the fact that it's kind of funny because I watched the making, and Kevin Conroy saying 20 years I played this character, 20 years, and people still love it, and it's like, yeah, your voice is now what people hear.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman. Like, there's no other voice.
Let's be honest.
I can accept Bruce Greenwood also. Bruce Greenwood, I thought was good.
Probably my second favorite Batman voice actor. The actor who voices him in the current movies, he's okay.
I've adjusted, but he still sounds. You can still hear his Australian accent in there, and I'm like,
I think he's Irish. Is he
Irish? Is he Irish? I thought he sounded a little Australian in some of it.
But definitely he's growing on me. But Bruce Greenwood is probably my second favorite. But the people know him, and then they talked about with Mark Hamill, and they even brought it up. Mark Hamill said he was done being a Joker.
Unless you do the Killing Joke.
Unless you do the Killing Joke, he'd come back. And
yeah, because that's Mark Hamill's favorite story. So of course he's gonna come back for it. But yeah, speaking of New 52 voice actors, man, if they want to actually do a really interesting New 52 movie, I hated this arc, but like if you do a New 52, if you do a Wonder Woman solo movie with Rosario Dawson voicing Wonder Woman, I'll watch the shit out of that. Like,
hey, I'll take Rosario and anything else. Yeah, we all know Rosario's great.
Man, all right, so let's see.
And this is technically a disability. Yeah, I don't know. He is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've always liked it about Daredevil. Also, that he turned his his disability into a superpower. I meant more like a actual kind of like, you know,
Like something's like missing, like something is like not like you like legs or something. That's I get what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah, like
There were characters out before like Barbara. Like there was a character on the New Warriors called Silhouette. She fought played with the team and she was using crutches and everything. I was like, but she also could teleport and stuff too. So let me see what's up.
no, I don't think she does have a I don't think Wonder Woman has a definitive origin storyline. The only Wonder Woman related character that has even more origin storylines than her is Donna Troy. Donna Troy has like a million different origins. Oh man.
Yeah, so yeah, she doesn't really. It's
Oh
kind
well,
of
if you look at Greg Rucka's story, I forget what it's called. It's Wonder. It starts with an H. Wonder Woman. Hi, I can't. It starts with an H. It's the story where she ends up having to protect this woman, and like Batman ends up coming after her or something like that.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't remember what the story
I
is
can't
called,
remember the story. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
but that was a good one.
When she
The,
beat
the
Batman up and threw him out. Threw him
Yep.
out. Mm-hmm.
And the story Wonder Woman: The Eye of the Gorgon, where she goes blind, and
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Athena leads her on a journey to to kind of rediscover herself. That was a really good story. There's a lot of good Wonder Woman stories that a lot of people look over. Most of them are done by Greg Rucka, so I'm glad that Greg Rucka is coming back.
Yep.
What else we got? Um, I would keep the original Superboy Connor Kent and bring in Calder Aqualad back. Oh, you mean Jackson?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jackson. Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
I would.
Yeah.
I would bring in Jackson, but I would bring in Jackson, but I would give him Calderon's backstory because, to be honest, Jackson doesn't really have much comic wise. I feel like Calder from Young Justice had a lot more depth than Jackson did. Jackson was kind of one dimensional in terms of like backstory.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely bring in. I'd definitely bring in Jackson Hyde. Bring him back. Connor, definitely the original Connor, because I didn't like the new Connor. I didn't.
I actually want to see Connor and John interact because technically they're brothers because they both have Superman DNA and somebody else's DNA. That's I always consider clones children because that's how I see Laura as Logan's daughter because technically she has Logan's DNA and Dr. Kinney's DNA, so technically that's the same thing as having a child, but like surrogate, like through surrogate.
Okay, let me see. Casting for Captain Marvel is this summer. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be casted as Carol.
Katie
Um,
Sackhoff, Charlize Theron, who else? Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt on here.
I could.
There's a couple of just if they don't get, I'm not really caring if they get a big name. I just want an actress who is gonna care about that role. Like,
Personally, I would like a no name just
yeah,
because I feel like no names want it more,
yeah, they
and
want it more.
and they'll bring their A game. Because I mean, you can say all you want that Chris Evans was a big name, but honestly, he was kind of a no name when he got Captain America because everybody was like, oh, that the guy from Not Another Teen Movie,
Yeah, he's just a
Johnny
funny guy.
Storm.
Everybody was just talking about, and I kept telling everybody, this guy can act. Like,
I was like, wow, she's gonna kill it,
gonna
and
kill it,
and
and he was great.
that moment you and I have talked about this several times. That moment where Dr. Erskine is like, so
Well, you want to kill some
why are you doing this? Are you doing this to kill some Nazis? And he's like, no, I just don't like bullies.
like
And I'm just
bully.
like, yeah, that is Steve.
That's
That right
stupid.
there.
He's not. Yeah, it's just like yeah. But yeah, whoever they cast, I'm looking forward to it. They're gonna use the up to date costume because there's no way they're not gonna use that.
Gonna let her have her cheeks hanging out
Yeah,
like
there's
that? No.
no way they're having her cheeks hang out. Um,
Nope.
and
Um,
maybe hopefully, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, and Feige has said,
or maybe she'll start out in the red costume and then
yeah,
later on like go into the up to date one.
and as far as they say, like she will be the most powerful hero. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yep.
all
I
right.
mean, yeah, like I want a good actress for Carol. Like I said, a no name works better. Look at Bozeman. Bozeman isn't really that big yet, and
Uh,
man,
Bozeman is the guy who can play, does a lot of
biopics, yeah,
biopics. I mean, he's done a few movies here and there, but this is the guy who nailed Jackie Robinson and nailed James Brown. And
yep.
I've seen both of those movies. Well, not really James Brown yet, but I've seen the 2040s too, where he played Jackie Robinson. He nailed that character. He nailed Robinson so well. I was like,
Oh, Get On Up is really good too. He actually like apparently like that's not a stunt double when he's doing all the choreography and stuff. He actually has the moves. I'm like, oh snap!
oh,
Pan- I'm like Panther can get down.
I'm
That's
looking
cool.
forward to see him as T'Challa, and then going on to see Ryan Coogler, direct Black Panther.
Man,
Like,
I mean, dude, Creed proved to me that this
yeah.
dude knows how to handle fight scenes.
Mhm. So
Uh,
you can imagine what a fight scene is going to be like in that with
can you
Panther.
imagine if they do like the Wakandan tournament, like
Yeah,
whenever they challenge for for the right to be the Panther, like that would be so cool to see. Just them in the arena and T'Challa just taking on challenger after challenger and just taking them. Oh my God, that's so cool.
let's see. Would you guys like to see an animated Kingdom Come movie? Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
story arc I would love to see. That's probably one of the best stories Mark Wade did for
I was expecting them to do Kingdom Come after they did New Frontier because that felt like it was very much kind of in the same kind of vein.
and but that's probably Wade has said he's another one that has said he won't write for DC anymore. Um, and so far he's lived up to it. He hasn't done anything for DC since. But who knows? Because Rucka said the same thing, and I thought, and he comes back. I was like,
And the funniest part is his falling out was about Wonder Woman and them not letting him do his Wonder Woman story, and
yeah.
now they're letting him do his Wonder Woman story, so he's coming back.
So let's see what else. Okay. Were you surprised that DC went for the True Legion of Doom in New 52? I don't think Forever Evil counts. Uh, the Legion. You talking about? Oh, yeah. Uh, not really.
I didn't actually think the Legion of Doom was a real thing. I thought that was just for the Super Friends.
Uh, they were really called the real
Yeah,
thing
I
that
thought it
came
was
to
the Injustice League.
yeah
Yeah, I thought.
the Legion of Doom was just for the show, but it became so popular that they started kind of incorporating it into the comics. Um, if more okay, Nathan Banks. Hey Nathan.
What's up,
Uh,
Nate?
if Marvel gets the rights back to Fantastic Four, does that also mean we get the scroll? Yeah. What that means
Yeah,
is we get everything that's
Secret
under
Invasion. Yeah, let's go
everything
ahead and do
under
that.
everything under Fantastic Four. Anybody who first appeared in Fantastic Four. So that means Galactus. That means Silver Surfer. That means the Skrulls.
That means all the Heralds,
All the
Annihilus,
heroes, Diablo, Doctor Doom. You name it, they get back. And I
except for Namor because somehow Namor is under Universal.
yeah, I don't know how that is possible. Like how are they still? He's still under Universal and
How does that not expire? Because
yeah,
isn't it supposed to be every 5 years? If you don't use it, it goes back to Marvel.
yep. And I don't know how, but those are things like for me. I mean, I've even talked about how I would have incorporated the FF into the MCU. I mean, my way of doing it would have been easily simple. It would have been just name drops. There would be newspaper articles, TV reports saying where I would have it where people were just saying, "Hey, Tony, looks like you're not the only genius in the world," and he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then there's like, "Oh, this guy named Reed Richards, he's making all these, and yeah, he'll last. He won't last too long." And you just keep hearing things about him.
Yep. Or even like, or maybe like the reason you could explain, or how you can explain the Fantastic Four not being around this entire time. Maybe it'd be like they're trapped in the microverse, like they're in the same place Jan is right now, and like Scott ends up when they I guess when they try to rescue Jan and they get Jan out, they also find Ben, Johnny, Sue, and Storm, and maybe time doesn't pass the same in the microverse, so maybe they were there in the '60s. Like,
I'm thinking that's
so,
what kind of what Ant-Man and Wasp is going to be about, like a rescue mission to get Jan out. And I've actually thought about what if Jan is still young and when she comes back
She sees Michael Douglas. He's all.
and he's old, Hank is all old, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Like like just things like that. I'm thinking because as of right now, I'm happy that they added Wasp to it, but it's just like, but who are they gonna use for that? Because Ant-Man never had a big rogues. I mean,
He has no villains
he
other
has
than
no
Egghead.
villains.
Egghead and Darren Cross.
Egghead's a joke. Egghead's a joke of a character. I mean, so
I
no.
mean, you could count. I honestly count Eric O'Grady as an Ant-Man villain because that dude is a douche. He's pretty much. Honestly, I don't understand it. Like like you could pretty much count Eric O'Grady as a villain. He's a douche. Hate that guy.
That Ant-Man.
Hate that guy.
I like that. What about that? I remember there was anytime I remember they brought it up too at one time in Ant-Man comic. He's like, "But wait a minute, there's another Ant-Man. Yeah, he talks a lot." Oh, Grady. It's just like Grady.
Eric O'Grady is basically the Guy Gardner of Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. So let me see. Let me see.
We're gonna have to disagree on that one, Deanne. I never liked O'Grady. I was never a fan. That guy was just a dick to everyone, and he used his powers to peep and shit, and he tried to sneak in Carol's purse to try and. I'm just like, oh my god, this guy.
What's okay? Dash axes a question. So, who's your team for the New Mutants movie? Oh, that's easy. Okay, if they go 6 members, Cannonball, my boy Sam Guthrie, Ileana, Majik, Wolfsbane, Ronnie Sinclair. You're basically the original squad.
And they've already said the role, at least the rumor is Majik, Wolfsbane, and Cannonball will be up there.
Sunspot would be another where a right sunspot where you get.
Yeah, they also mentioned Sunspot too, and I think they also mentioned Danny Moonstar as one.
Moonstar, that would be my lineup right there. Because first of all, I like Days of Future Past, but they got Roberto Della Costa's powers all.
They basically made him Johnny Storm.
Exactly, they made him the Human Torch. I'm like, no, that's not how his powers work. It does not work like that. And I was like, no. And instantly right there, I said it before. Once I saw that, I was like, there's no way regular audience people are going to care about these characters because you're just putting them in there. And nobody really shined.
You just put them in there to get killed. Like that's all it was.
I mean, besides Blink, everybody else in there, you know how I felt with Warpath. I was like, fuck. I was so pissed off. Even Bishop just was there. I was like, he barely could.
I'm really excited for Maisie Williams to get the role of Wolfsbane though. Even though for years I was campaigning her as Kitty Pryde, but I'll take it. I'll take her as Ronnie. That's cool.
All I want to hear is that Scottish accent. Like, just give me my Scottish accent.
I mean, she is Scottish, so I feel like it could work.
Ronnie Wolfsbane has always been cool to me because her mutation is lycanthropy, but she's very religious too with it. And I'm like, that's really different. Like there's this, and the thing is, like, she can go full wolf, and then she could be humanoid like wolf, and I'm like, yeah, I like that.
I love how blunt she is, and I think that's gonna be so much fun for Maisie, especially because she plays a lot of characters that just don't have a filter. So I feel like that could work that could play very well for Ronnie, because Ronnie does not give a shit what people
Times, Ronnie will be in your face, but then she could be this loving character, and then she could just be really in your face. With Sam, you need somebody that's just a good old country boy. Like, you have this guy who comes. First of all, his entire family are mutants. Like, that whole.
They have a giant ass clan, and they killed off a lot of them in like.
Yeah, they killed off a lot of them, but his Mama Guthrie had all mutant kids, each one of them. Now, the most famous of the two.
Technically, Daddy Guthrie is who the one.
But technically, the biggest two of them of the Guthrie clan is Sam and Paige.
Yep. Husk and Cannonball. Yeah.
So I mean,
although Husk has gone crazy now, so
Husk is kind of flipped out now. Like, but with Cannonball, it's like it would be good because in the movies we don't get enough flying type mutants. We don't get that,
And actually, fun fact about Cannonball, he was actually supposed to be Colossus's protege in Deadpool, but they were like they said that they were saving him for another project, so they gave Tim Miller Negasonic Teenage Warhead instead.
Yeah, and they changed her powers because she's not like that.
Yep, she's just supposed to be a nuclear telekinetic.
Yeah, but we don't get enough flying type. I mean, let's face it. Storm in the movies, she's not flying around a lot. We see her up in the air, and that's about it. Magneto don't fly too much. When he does, is there. But we need somebody who is like that's their mutant power. Like they're all.
we'll kind of see it with Angel in this next movie. But
yeah, we'll see it with that one. Yeah, Archangel and things like that. So.
Yeah, okay, so DN asked, would you guys be okay with having Strife in a Cable movie?
Yeah,
I would be cool with that. I feel like that's where they would go. Actually,
that's where they're gonna go. But I also think that I think Cable being the sequel to Deadpool is setting up for X-Force.
Yep.
I think that's what that's gonna say. And for X-Force, that's another team I would like. I would bring kind of the classic X-Force team. Like, that's where I would bring back Warpath, like, on there. Like, show him, again, Domino, definitely.
Yep.
Boom Boom.
Oh, yeah, Boom Boom. Boom Boom got, like, a ton of love after X-Men Evolution, so definitely Boom Boom would be a popular.
Like, she could be, like, the demolition for them.
She would pretty much be the Rocket Raccoon of.
Yeah, I need a hole here. She's like, how big you want it? Big enough, and she pop. All right, there you go. Fire in the hole and blow up something.
Oh man.
So yeah, definitely that'd be great. So yeah, and let me see, maybe Shatterstar or Longshot be cool too. I still want to see Mojo on a movie. I definitely want to see Mojo.
You know who I want to see in the X-Men franchise at some point, and Kat mentioned this too. And I'm glad I'm not the only one. I want to see Allison show up in a movie. Let's get some Dazzler. Let's get some Dazzler up in this.
I'd love to see Dazzler. I mean, she's a lot powerful than people think she is. Like, she's. Yeah, I mean,
she can turn sound into light energy, guys. Like, that is freaking OP when you really think about it.
if you look at, like, for example, I say this a lot about him. I was like, if you look at Sunspot, it makes me wonder, why is this guy not an Omega level mutant? If you look at what he can do, you go to his bio on a Marvel site and look at his mutation, his powers, like what he can do. It's like it's not just this. It's not just. It doesn't just increase his
Man,
strength.
Dazzler became a Herald of Galactus, guys. She is
Yeah,
freaking powerful. Like, I mean, granted, there are a lot of people that have become Herald of Galactus. Hell, Aunt May has become a Herald of Galactus. But anyway, seriously though, Dazzler is freaking awesome. I'm really upset that Dazzler's gone right now. But that's
oh no,
another.
she's still around. She
Uh,
did. You're talking about you don't like punker.
That's not the real Dazzler. All right, that's Dazzler. That's somebody pretending to be Dazzler in a goth costume. Like that's not the real Dazzler. I mean, granted, I mean, she doesn't have to be all disco and bell bottoms and rollerblades, but like she doesn't. I don't like this like punk ass look.
Let's see. Which team is next to? Let's see. Let's see. Which team is next in line to get a MCU movie?
Um, hmm,
Hmm.
that's
Besides the Guardians of the Galaxy, you're talking about somebody new, another team. Man, I
I
would
would.
see a. I don't know. Maybe they could do the Thunderbolts, but
I was about to say that. Like with Suicide Squad, I feel like Thunderbolts is probably going to
maybe
end up being
Thunderbolts
next.
or maybe Squadron.
Especially, imagine this. All right, imagine if we get Norman Osborn in the world, and Norman Osborn is the one that puts the Thunderbolts together, and we do that version.
Yeah, something like that.
That could be pretty
Uh,
cool.
Let me see. Did you guys love the Flash Supergirl crossover? Yeah, I
Fuck
did.
yeah, that was so much fun. That
I
was
did like that. I love that. I still have that episode on my DVR. I will not erase that episode. I love their chemistry, Dash.
ah man, it
Chemistry
just that was
was
off the
good.
charts. Even that little moment where Barry got them ice cream and Kara was just so happy. Oh my, it was
That was so funny. Like I loved how that scene is so funny because it's like when is like the multiverse. Oh, we talk about that too, and it's like and they're just like, wait, how did you that? So how are you move that fast enough? Well, and then he just comes back with ice cream, and then she's like, yes.
man.
I
Win was such a fanboy. It was so
yeah.
good.
I mean,
Uh,
it was the prop that I really didn't have a problem with it. I did think like at times,
I really didn't have any problem with it, but except for Jimmy. Jimmy was over there sulking in the background, like,
yeah, like when
come on, Jim.
I'm like, what? But I heard there's talks they may do it again. I hope they do
Yeah,
it again.
they're talking about doing it again. And from what Kevin Smith, who since he directed an episode of The Flash, he got a little bit of a teaser about the finale because they told him a little bit about it because they wanted him to know how his episode would affect. And from what he says, he can't really say much, but he says that the finale of The Flash, will impact Supergirl in a big bad way.
Okay.
Well, in a good way, but he said it's going to be a huge impact for Supergirl.
Okay.
So
There's no.
I'm assuming that that has to do with the whole Power Girl or
Yeah,
whatever
that'd be cool. There's nothing to fear but
The
you.
Earth One
So
version of Kara. So maybe that's what it is.
hell, scarecrows. Oh my God, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle's here. What's up, Kyle?
There's nothing to fear but fear itself. I'm here to, and just like that, I was here now and I'm gone. There's so. Okay, DNG says he's going to sleep. Good night. Yeah, guys, don't worry. We're about to wrap this up too.
Yep.
So if you got any more questions, ask them now. Before that, I'm gonna give you some news that's coming for the channel as well. So yeah. So any more questions, ask now. Mm, 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 Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, we got one last question.
Yep, I see. Yeah, I see it.
You want to go first on that one?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the same answer, but
Yeah. Okay.
this right here is the reason I'm gonna go see Suicide Squad. You can't see the whole pillow, but Harley is the reason I'm gonna go see Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my reason too. Like Harley,
I mean, I
Argo,
I love Will, but you know what? I'm seeing it for Harley.
Margot, she's really getting out there now. Her name, she's really putting herself out. I like that she's really putting herself out there. Like she's doing comedy, she's doing this. I mean, she did a movie not too long ago with Tina Fey,
Yeah,
um, and she's doing this. Then she's gonna be playing Jane in the Tarzan movie, and
I'm
she's
really
not,
looking forward to that Tarzan movie. That Tarzan movie looks so cool.
yeah, and she's not the typical Tarzan help me Jane. No, she's like
She is badass,
yeah,
Jane.
she's like that Jane that I'm looking for, and but for Suicide Squad, yeah, Harley is definitely the main reason. But I am looking forward to who's gonna bite the dust. I'm like, yeah, one of these guys.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. Slipknot's gonna bite the dust because what kind of his power is tying knots, guys. He's gonna die.
And seeing in the trailer, seeing Carly as, oh my God, she freaks me out even more. I'm already freaked out enough about her as it is with them damn eyes, or like.
No, but no. The thing that probably was the. I'm still not sold on Killer Croc. Like Killer Croc still looks like a dude with a really bad case of eczema.
Yeah, he does. Killer. I mean, I'm a little. We already got 3 Batman villains in this movie. You got him, Harley, and Joker. But Harley's definitely the one that sold me. Just that trailer alone, just seeing her just be, I'm like, that just Harley would do some stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, she's over the top enough for me to consider Harley. A lot of people are like, I still don't hear the voice. I'm like, I consider this just another world, like an Elseworlds version of Harley. So I'm like, I'm cool with it.
So definitely, Harley. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. But that seems to be the last question. Okay. Other than that, guys, some news that's coming up. We give you some upcoming stuff that's coming on the channel. We got versus Master of the Twist, guys. That's something that you guys should go and vote. The first 3 episodes are up on that, so go vote on those. We honestly, guys, we did not do a roundtable for Batman or Superman. Reason why we didn't, because most of us, we have so much negativity about that movie that we didn't want to bring the mood down for that. Like, we could disagree on some things, but that would have just been like, go
Yeah.
away. And then, we probably would have got people saying, yeah, these are just Marvel fanboys or something like that. No.
Oh, I got plenty. I got plenty of those comments in my like.
Yeah.
Stop sucking Marvel's dick. Like,
No, so
I'm like, I have an entire Batman wall on the other side. I'm only recording from the Spider-Man wall because it has better lighting.
yeah, so I was just like, no, we're not. So, and besides that, guys, the way I looked at it also is like nobody was actually enthusiastic to do it. Like usually we were like, okay, so when we're gonna do it, and we weren't getting.
Yeah, like literally, we're just like, oh yeah, aren't we supposed to do a Batman v Superman?
Yeah, so we didn't do it, and we're not going to do it. But yeah, we're gonna definitely do Cap because
that's one everyone's excited for.
Everybody's excited for that, so we're definitely gonna do that. And Kyle, who was in the chat not too long ago, he remember they're gonna start doing the comic stuff soon here.
Yep.
Jay and Kyle are gonna start it, and I'll jump in later when I'm fully caught back up. on my stuff. But yeah, there's still stuff coming. Good stuff coming. We're definitely gonna get together for just a Q&A, guys. Just going back to doing the core Q&As that we used to do. Myself and probably few other guys that come around and do it usually. But we'll see you guys for season 3. You know, we're gonna do definitely another season 3 for
iZombie, yep, for sure.
But other than that, you know where you can find us. I mean, don't I don't need to be putting that out there anymore. I mean, probably both of us both. Yeah, I'm getting tongue tied. We're both on Facebook. We're both on Twitter. Um, I am on Instagram, so yeah, Jay's not.
Yep, nope, I don't. Yeah, I don't do the whole picture thing. I'm not really into that.
Jay does okay. And Jay doesn't have a Tumblr. I have a Tumblr, and I get a lot of questions on Tumblr too. Just the problem is they're always anonymous, and I'm like, who asked me this? Like, um, and you can find us here. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you guys for season 3 of iZombie next year or whenever it shows. But we're gonna leave, and bye, guys.
Later, guys.